Pressure, rising on the edge of taking every.
Life is a game, and EG was born to win, going 2-0 versus Fnatic. We had techies, we had Naga Siren, we had a lot of team fights, and a lot of good Dota. We have, unfortunately, Gods went to go search for the 8 dragons. He went to go hunt the 8 dragons. So now we have Tsunami joining us on the panel. So it'll be me, Sumi, Tsunami, and Lizard for this next
Why do you have to
series.
do him like that? He's like, yeah, I'm here.
I'm
And she's like, unfortunately.
I am the Ionic Eldworm, as we have now.
Did you catch the tip?
I
in
did.
The, you
yeah,
did. Yeah,
I
you
didn't
saw
realize
it.
we were gonna get bonus lore during the tournament. Also, I thought I absorbed all of it. I thought I had to wait like another 2 years, maybe, seeing if Netflix gives us another book. But here I am. We're already learning more.
Yeah, it's looking very promising because we're not even 7 anymore. We're like 6 on the charts worldwide. The stonks
Going
are
up.
rising.
Stonks
yeah.
are rising.
Stonks are rising.
China stonks are rising right now because we have the strongest region being represented now in the upper bracket. You got one team from all of the other regions. You got 6 of the DPC representatives, and then 2 China teams come up from wild cards.
We expected kind of similar story from China. Maybe Europe surprised us a little bit. Maybe didn't do as much as we thought, but
Maybe.
Chinese teams pretty much playing to their standards. We can see some weaknesses in VICI Gaming and PSG LGD throughout the wildcard and the group stage, but not too plenty, hence why they're here.
Yeah, I mean, both PSG LGD and VICI Gaming have performed very well. VICI Gaming specifically for this next series, they were second place in wildcard, third place in group stage with some really fantastic showings. They had some great games, but unfortunately, because China is a very strong region. Unfortunately, we will have China versus China today because they will be playing against Invictus Gaming, who were seeded directly into the upper bracket.
It's more like because Lizard doomed us to this fate. I was watching that hat. It seemed all pure random, but I don't know, Lizard. I think you may be trying to influence decisions.
I'm not. Like, you saw me. That was completely unbiased. I was looking away. The hand was doing its own thing.
Sure. I know Chaos.
You should attack Gods. Like, he mixed them up.
That's true,
before
actually.
As well.
Oh, that's why.
It's
he
his
left the
hat
panel.
after all.
It was his
Wait,
hat.
it was God's hat?
Yeah. Well, I mean, it had a.
Well, they gave it to him.
They gave it to him, but it was his responsibility, really. But I think it was bound to happen regardless. Like I said, it's 3 representatives of China in the upper bracket.
There's a lot of Chinese
It was
teams
bound
here.
to happen.
Right.
But what I thought would be more. I thought I would look in the history of these 2 teams and I'd be like, oh, okay, China plays each other all the time. These 2 teams have only played each other during the DPC. None of these random other leagues did they face each other. IG was playing like a bunch of Magma and eHome and Elephant and Aster, but they only played VICI during the DPC series.
And also keep in mind that this series that happened, it was still even the old patch. The one before the small pre-patch that changed Ricky, Puck, OD, all these heroes were completely busted before it. And after that, China went on a small break. They went on a 2-week break for the Chinese New Year. And because of that, they played the DPC season a little bit longer. So that match was like 2 months ago at this point. So
and 2 months is a long time in Dota?
It's an eternity.
Yeah. It's an eternity. Well, VG Gaming has only they went 5-2 in the DPC for China. They did lose to IG, so maybe this is a chance for them to turn it around. Let's take a quick look at the position 3 comparison between VG Gaming and IG.
Yep. This is pretty much the MVP. Most likely MVP from both of these teams. On one side you had JT that throughout the DPC was most voted MVP out of the whole team IG. Meanwhile, Old 11, you could see this guy in the group stage, in the wildcard. What he does with that Pango, it's unmatched so far at least. Sorry, Ice.
You mean Ice going into the enemy fountain wasn't unmatched.
Well, in that way, yeah, it definitely was unmatched, but in a way in which you influence the team in the positive manner.
Right. Ice isn't drawing bans for his Pango in like the first phase like old 11 is.
Yep.
That dude is, and same thing for JT. Like you said, most highly praised player for IG during the DPC, and rightfully so.
Even the game that they lost, he went like 6-0 on his lane. So even if they lose, it doesn't matter. Winning or losing, he's doing his job and he's doing it well.
Dota is a team game, so even if you do well in your own individual lane, it might not mean victory for your entire team.
Yeah,
I've been discouraged by that many times. That's why I play support traditionally, because I don't trust anybody.
Wait,
I
don't
see.
you also play support?
The panelists are mostly supports. You'll get to
It's
know
true.
that.
Why is that?
Because we're bad at the game.
Ah, okay.
If we were carry players, we'd be over there, not over here.
But
Nah, I'm kidding. It's not like that. I don't know why that is. Maybe we're a little bit more cognitive
Support
about
players
the
are
game. We
nicer
think about-
people.
yeah.
We are more personable. We're more charismatic. Carry players just live in their own little bubble. They're hitting creeps all day. They don't know how to talk to people.
But supports are most frequently the captain, right? I think
Yeah.
all the
Yeah.
5 positions are the captains of the team.
Not necessarily always, but most of the time. But that's hard support, right? As a 4, you're a little bit more flashy. You take some more time and the spotlight to yourself to make plays. Meanwhile, a 5 is literally, I'm gonna plant some wards and tell you what to do.
As a 5, you have time to think about things. You have time to micromanage, and even beyond drafting in the game, you're like, all right, I only need to click a few times. I can tell everyone else what to do in the meanwhile.
I see. So going back to Invictus Gaming and VICI Gaming, you said that they hadn't really played each other except in the DPC. How will that affect how they play each other today in the first LAN in over a year?
I think it's going to affect how IG plays in general, because now VICI Gaming have like 19 games.
Like 55 in 2 days.
Yeah, give or take a couple.
That
And
is
so
true.
I thought that the previous series was both teams kind of coming in cold. EG and Fnatic, both, they've been under the radar, haven't gotten any chance to play any group stage games, no public games at least. Whereas China, the last thing was the side league after the FDWC or whatever, after the DPC, and then IG's just been chilling.
Yep.
VICI Gaming has been grinding everything out.
IG pretty much weren't grinding at all. Even during the DPC league, they were staying away from some of these side tournaments, and they were just playing the DPC. You could see that in SEA as well with Fnatic and some top dogs, right? That are like, okay, you guys, you go and play in the mud. We're gonna chill on our throne and just play the DPC, because they necessarily don't have to play for some extra cash and reveal their strategies. However, VICI Gaming, they didn't have let's say the luxury of not showing their hand, because they had some very important games in the last 2 days that brought them here, right? So IG, they do have an inherent advantage of watching all those games and being able to prepare exactly for what VICI Gaming is bringing.
Man, even then, though, I feel like VICI Gaming also found out things that didn't work for them. We're not seeing the
That is
support
true.
Luna at all. That was so popular during wildcards, start falling off a little bit during group stage, and during the end of group stage, just didn't see it anymore. Whereas IG, at least they got to see a lot of other Chinese teams, so they saw stuff that they were familiar with between Aster's games, LGD's games, and VICI's games.
100% I agree with you, because if you look at the DPC and what they were playing, Shadow Shaman was almost always first pick for them. PYW was always playing that hero, and now they're not even picking it that much. So if let's say IG did not watch these games, maybe they would have been banning the Shadow Shaman or respecting it. Now they can just chill, but also VICI Gaming, like you said, figured out what works and what doesn't.
And for IG, them finding out what works for them, during the DPC, they were really big on Morphling. They would flex it between both their 2 positions.
It's a very, it's a slippery slope for them there with the Morphling. They would flex it between 1 and 2, but why? That's like when you go deeper into
Okay,
into
I
the
only
team.
saw the numbers, so please explain the context, actually.
So this is kind of bad for IG, and I am feeling bad for Fly more than anything else, because he was given Morphling multiple times.
Yeah.
And he kind of failed to perform to the standard. And because of that, in the last couple of days, when they would pick Morphling, they would take it away from him. And I don't know what that does to a confidence of a player. Just before the major, you take hero that you've been giving him all the time, you take it away from him and you give it to someone else. And he's put on like a Viper, a Razor.
Oh no, come on.
you know, it's not a good feeling as a core, as a carry to have something like that done to you.
Do you think that since VICI Gaming has had the ability to play through a bunch of group stage and wildcard matches that maybe they have adapted faster to the tournament meta that I've heard so much about over the last couple of games?
Yeah, so between the picks being different, I also think that during the first few days of wildcard and group stage, Chinese teams were really big on teamfight comps. You have the Phoenixes, the Lunas, the Gyrocopters, but then even the carries that were being picked were also very, very teamfight oriented. And then that's the other thing that kind of progressed as the tournament moved forward is you were seeing more like Terrorblade carries. You were seeing, I guess Pango kind of fulfills both roles from the offlane of teamfight and pickoff, but
teams also realizing that IO is
core.
the core to go for,
Also
so
true.
we might see something like that as well in the series. But when you look at Chinese teams, like Tsunami just said, it's mostly the team fight, get maybe a wonky position 5, Lunas, Gyros, whatnot. Possibly not after they lost a couple of times with them, but just team fight compositions are what works pretty much the best for them.
Do you think that they will adopt strategies from other regions? Because this is China versus China, right? Maybe adopting a strategy from Europe or maybe South America might work out for them? What do you think?
I would find that more likely to come from IG because I think VICI Gaming is they're in so deep that they've been in this tournament for such a while that I don't think it'll be difficult for them to like take us. Oh snap! This is awesome.
Whoa!
There you go.
Someone was it you, Lizard? The Venn diagram.
Yeah, I
now
mentioned
they have
them.
a Venn diagram.
I was surprised. Where did they go? Because we had them for the longest time in the Chinese region while we were doing the DPC upper division. And here you go. You can see some of these heroes are a little bit outdated, perhaps not picked as
Shaman
much.
is in the middle of the middle. I don't think that's going to be quite as accurate now in this tournament.
Puck is there.
Puck's there, Mars.
Phoenix?
So pretty much everything other than the Shaman I can see being highly contested between
It's all of
these
these
two
heroes
teams.
that are really, really in the meta in the Chinese DPC. However, Luna perhaps completely on the right side. This is something that you won't see coming from IG. And from IG, what you can expect perhaps if DPC upper division is anything to judge by, Oracle. Like they had maybe 12, 13 games of Oracle. I don't think they lost a single one. So
That's a really good win rate.
yeah, 100% is a good win rate.
I mean,
if they pick it, they win with it. The Oracle is their full comfort
this is
zone.
like a Kaka specialty kind of thing.
Oli, actually.
Oli, okay.
They play it on 5 and yeah.
Okay.
I see that Lion is picked on IG between 4 and 5 between Kaka and Oli. So how does that work? Is it just based off of team draft?
Yeah, pretty much. Like you can flex it. It's a line, right?
It's not like the situation with Fly Getting Morphling.
No.
confiscated.
It's
Only
luckily-
you can't handle Lion. Mana drain is too difficult for you.
Right.
Yeah,
Like, did it get taken away?
Fly with the Morphling, it's kind of a player that really likes to test the limits, but sometimes with Morphling, that's not.
Morphling is not the hero. That
Yeah,
you can do
really
that
not the
with.
hero to do that because you switch to Agi when you should be shifting to strength, and you find yourself in a bad position.
Then
You just
again,
die.
a lot of this may have come also before the patch, and so like Nyx Assassin may have gotten nerfed afterwards, and it's too late. You've lost your Morphling privileges. He's like, guys, one of the best anti-Morphling heroes is gone now. Don't worry about it.
I've seen like a couple of my teammates as well before just completely crumble after a situation such as that one. So I hope that doesn't happen to. Of course, Fly is way more experienced, so he should be fine with it. But still, man, as a carry, being taken a hero being taken away like that from you, it stings a little bit. It truly does.
In general, I even if VICI like completely stomped 2-0, I won't be surprised at all because I just haven't seen enough from IG in recent times. In VICI Gaming, I think that there's a lot to be said for having on-LAN experience and then coming into playoffs with that.
One of the reasons, though, why IG did top the group, why they were so strong in the Chinese region, is their flexibility. Like when you look at the way they draft, they're not afraid to look outside of the meta at all. Hell, these guys drafted Sven versus a Lycan. Just because of the Lycan, they thought, okay, there's a lot of summons. Let's get that Sven online, and it worked extremely well.
Liquid Sven worked also.
Yeah, they drafted. What did they go for? They picked Mirana mid. It's also very peculiar, and it worked. Like, Emo is on a really good level with the hero, So you can see something like a Zeus coming versus that Prophet, perhaps, if it's picked. It's a team that doesn't shy away from letting you have the meta and then countering you in some odd ways that aren't necessarily the most popular ones.
Are you allowed to go as off meta as Fnatic did in the last series? Because that's the kind of thing that I do like from playoff teams, is that they are willing to try things that are less popular and find success with it. Because, I mean, any team can try an off-meta hero and lose with it, but winning with it is a much bigger challenge. I don't think, like, Naga Siren's not particularly popular, but EG, you know, it's a comfort hero for RTZ. Why not go for it?
I really think, like, in that last game, in the last series, perhaps Fnatic wouldn't take the series. But the second game, if EG didn't pick Winter Wyvern, it would have been so much harder for them, even with the techies.
Oh, yeah, even Wyvern. Yeah. Wyvern's not particularly meta either.
Not meta, but strong versus Enigma, right? So they snatch it.
Who do you think that both teams will ban first? We've seen IO ban pretty much first every single time.
Yeah.
Puck ban has come out either in the first phase or early second phase.
Yeah, we'll see
what's going to happen.
Yeah, we'll see what VICI Gaming goes for. Are they going to go with what they banned before versus IG, or will they go with their newfound knowledge?
I think they're going to go with newfound knowledge, because I don't think that VICI will ban IO, because there's no proof that IO can be played in a core position on IG.
Yep.
I don't think was that played at all during the DPC in China?
I can't say for sure. There were a lot of games, but I think not. Yeah.
Okay, I don't think I see any IO on IG.
Okay, so I don't think they'll ban that. I think IG will probably ban it if it does get first phase banned. I don't think Morphlings are very highly rated right now.
Not at all anymore. Yep,
yeah, so I don't think that'll be a first phase priority. We saw Puck in the middle of both those Venn diagrams. I think Puck will probably be banned by one of the teams.
Maybe Oracle coming from...
Oracle, that would be a good...
JT Timber is pretty scary as well. So
is it as scary as Old 11 Pango, or is it that kind of tier?
Yeah, it's that tier.
Okay.
It's pretty much that tier. Maybe Old 11... Let's put it this way. I feel like Pango is more versatile as a hero.
Yeah.
You can flex it as well between positions. Plus, he does more throughout the game, even if he's shut down in the laning stage. Meanwhile, Timber... he needs to dominate. So because of that, maybe I would value Old 11's Pango a little bit higher.
We haven't seen a strong showing from Weaver, but it does look like Flyfly has had a decent amount of games as Weaver during the DPC. Do you think that they will ban that one out?
I think Weaver's lost a lot of luster over the past 3 days.
It's been picked, it's been banned. You could see it banned in almost every second phase. Like today as well, we've seen it in the second phase bans, but is it truly a first Vic ban material? I don't think so. I think we won't move or stray too far from DP or...
is like completely gone. No one knows what that hero is right now.
Remember that game that I told you about JT going 6-0? It was Slardar.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so you never know. Maybe they also lost that game, I believe.
Oh, right. Yeah, you told me. Yeah.
They played Slardar, man. Come on.
Do you think it's possible that VICI Gaming has a pocket strategy? They've played so many games across this week already. Do you think they've saved anything? Is there anything that you would normally see from them that you haven't seen before?
I'm trying to remember if they've been in a critical situation where they feel like they need to whip out a pocket strategy, because I don't think that they've ever felt under pressure. Throughout wildcards, they were pretty secure. It was PSG LGD that was trying to fight their way upwards.
Yep.
And then the very last game of the group stage was PSG LGD also being like, oh, let's just mess around right now. And so I don't think VICI Gaming has been...
Not really Chinese style as well, right? To
have pocket strategies?
To go for pocket strategies.
Yeah, I mean, Xingqiu Techies has to be kind of pockety, right?
A little bit.
Well, we will see, because we have the time, we have the green light to bring the teams out onto the stage. Give them a warm welcome.
Welcome on stage, Invictus Gaming. On stage, VICI Gaming.
Both teams are now on the stage. One of the teams experiencing their first LAN Dota match in over a year. The other team having several matches under their belt.
Yeah, they had some time to prepare for this match. They know each other really well. They also, the DPC league itself actually in China was a LAN event.
That's true.
No crowd, but yeah, but they were in booths and everything was very similar. So very interesting to see them on the stage once again. Yeah,
tear rolls down your eye like, oh, I remember these kids just 2 months ago when
they were trying to qualify.
And here they are now in Singapore.
Yeah. The DPC
so
China was really good. Like the quality of Dota was really great from most of the teams. 2 bottom ones, they didn't really stand a chance.
Yeah.
But everyone else was really brawling it out. We don't see Elephant here. Like,
yeah,
it's crazy.
And 4 days ago, I would have been like, nah, you're just biased. But the proof is here now. 3 Chinese teams in upper bracket. You can't deny the strength of the region at this point.
The stage is really nice, by the way. I like this a lot. Like in the DPC China region as well, the stage was pretty nice. They had their booths and everything. It was really well done. But here as well, it's pretty hyped to see it again.
Yeah, it's nice and spacious, and the players look like they have a lot of breathing room. It's very, very nice.
I just wish that there was a crowd, but not yet.
Soon.
We'll get there.
Safety first.
Safety first, absolutely.
Safety first.
I won't disagree with that in the slightest. But
I just hope it happens before August, please. Everyone, vaccines, come on, bring it a little bit faster.
This has just been such a great taste because I didn't realize how much I would miss. Well, in this case, it's not a region versus another region, but that whole atmosphere of like everyone advocating for their own hometown favorites and seeing the clashing of metas and heroes.
Just saying something that I might mean, might not mean, and having that taken out of the context and that bashed on Twitter by some SA or SCA or NA, and it happens to all of us, you know.
Of course.
And you go into the green room. Okay, so who flamed you yesterday? What did you say about NA? What did Arteezy do wrong?
It's very cool, though, because even though we aren't able to have people here in the building to watch the games, you know, we still have everybody watching all over the world thanks to, like, technology.
Yeah.
And I don't know, it's just, we can still get the Twitter flames. That will still, actually, that's probably still happening no matter what anyway. Yeah, that will never die.
For better or for worse, the world is smaller than ever before.
Mm-hmm.
You can see them getting into the zone, getting into the focus.
So IG's coach is Super?
Yeah, it's Super, but not the one that was on...
It's lowercase Super.
Yeah.
So
not capital Super.
There's capital Super,
there's capital
and
Super, and there's lowercase Super.
Lowercase Super as well has... like, sorry, lowercase Super. You're also fine. You had some lowercase achievements in your career too.
Oh my god.
No. He did well. He did well. I mean, his prize money overall achievements is like 10 times mine. So he, no.
If anybody wants to open that Twitter right now and flame Lizard for his his comments, there you go.
I know usually people confuse and think that it's the Super that was what second, third, second on TIs and whatnot. Yeah. So it's not that one.
VICI's coach, who's VICI's coach? ROTK? Is it still ROTK?
Should be them. Wait.
We can take a look and see. Let me take a peek.
Yeah, because I think that China, more so than other regions, has put such a strong emphasis on having coaches, not just for their top-tier teams, but even like their academy teams.
Yeah, it's Fenrir, actually, I believe, right?
I would believe it. These are all VICI names that I associate.
Messed them up a little bit, but...
it says ROTK left in September 2020.
Should be Fenrir. I'm pretty sure it's Fenrir right now with VICI Gaming. So all of these grand names are behind when it comes to coaches, like you said.
Why I'm glad that they're becoming coaches, because like I see teams like Elephant, and of course on paper I'm like, this team should be here. But then also I'm like, maybe just some of the players should be here in a coach capacity.
Yeah. When you look at Elephant, they have also a position 5 that wasn't really as experienced. Like position 5 wasn't isn't a no-name at all.
Yeah.
Probably the least experienced player in the whole DPC league for these top tiers.
I mean, I'm always on board with like experienced players teaching newer players in a roster, but like part of the reason why I felt that TI9, China and TI9 did not meet the standard was because so much of the old guard was still playing, and now we're seeing a resurgence.
What do you have against the old guard? Come on, man.
The statistics speak for themselves.
So what do you say? What's the age? When are you supposed to go coaching?
It's not necessarily an age. It's more
the
like
attitude and whatnot.
Placements. You know, if you can't keep getting high placements, then gotta get them from behind the desk.
How important is a coach to Dota? Because one of the things that I've heard is that coaches are
Ten seconds remaining.
Might have to.
5 seconds remaining.
Radiant team pick.
Opening Invictus Gaming, they've been watching the wildcard, the group stages as well, and they.
Dire team pick.
Oracle. Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining.
Do you miss the intense passion? Best teams in the world. Powerful emotions. Epic fights. Stunning rivalries. It's time for the biggest comeback. Singapore. This March, LAN Major Dota is coming back.
They
just like Oracle. They're just like Oracle.
I like it.
It's a very strange thing to see, but they just value Oracle highly, and it doesn't have to be comboed with Alchemist, that Prophet, with Troll. But obviously, if you have a chance to do so, why not?
10 seconds remaining.
Yeah, Phoenix is lighting things up. I think this is.
5 seconds remaining.
I'm glad that something can be appreciated.
And on the Radiant, he actually has a higher win rate. Forces of Light.
I like it. I like it. Sponsored by Tinder. Also some fire up in there.
Void Spirit. Okay, so they're picking the Void Spirit, probably leaving the puck in the pool now for VICI Gaming if they wanted to pick it. We've seen also on Mars is an option, right? So
Yeah.
It seems that in the DPC or year-to-date, Void Spirit has been picked a lot by Ori, Puck, Storm Spirit, and also Templar Assassin a couple of times.
yeah, these are all Ori heroes.
Puck's wide open.
He's a very stable player. Like he versus the Void Spirit, he'll just play his lane properly. He won't lose it too hard. And later on, like Void Spirit does well in the lane, but later on it can be a little bit problematic.
We did look at the offlane matchup between Old 11 and JT. What do you think between Emo and Ori? Who do you think is I mean, based off stats, I would guess IG's Emo is better, but
yeah, Emo overall has been outstanding in the Chinese DPC league. So I have to go with him a little bit.
Okay.
Like he's been just winning games on his own. He's been doing so much and would literally be the mid laner that influences the game so hard that even if his team is losing, they win it in the end.
yeah, given from what I've seen from VICI during wildcards and groups, I don't really think Ori necessarily has quite as big of an influence
This is very peculiar that VICI Gaming go with the
Your
TB this
Radiant
early
team
on,
ban.
because, okay, they might have thought Invictus Gaming might snatch it with the Oracle, but IG, they look like they're set in the past still, like they're stuck there. They're still banning and picking the same heroes that they've been banning and picking before. I don't think they would have banned out that
10
Terrorblade.
seconds
I
remaining.
need a second phase. The Oracle does throw me.
Yeah.
I would definitely be like, that
5
seems
seconds
kind of
remaining.
archaic. That seems like ye old DPC Season 1 kind of stuff, not Singapore Major kind of stuff. But Void Spirit's traditional. And then the bans are also, you know, like Monkey King,
Dire
Pango.
team
I can
ban.
understand both those bans.
Yeah. And
But yeah, the first Fate Terrorblade does baffle me, though.
yeah, and these all bans that we're seeing right now, these are all the heroes that we talked about. JT Mars on one side, on the other, Invictus Gaming
team
banning out the
ban.
Puck. JT Timbersaw, and on the other side they're banning out the Puck and the Mars. VICI Gaming still going with the Morphling, and you need to ban it now. You're playing with Phoenix and with Terrorblade, so...
So if IG didn't want Fly to have Morphling, neither did VICI Gaming.
Yep, look,
10 seconds remaining.
looks that way. I mean, it would have been a really good Morphling game. Already
5 seconds
seeing just
remaining.
these two heroes, it's already a decent Morphling game.
Do you think that they allowed VICI Gaming to pick Terrorblade because, do you think
Dire
VICI Gaming
team
picked
ban.
Terrorblade because they've seen Poyoyo do some really great things on it already? Just want to lock that in?
Overall, the teams, right? Tsunami?
Yeah, that's why. But I mean, like, you can wait until second phase. You don't ever really build a Terrorblade strategy in the first phase. You pick like 3 heroes.
10 seconds
You get
remaining.
your second phase of bans, and you're like,
Dire
okay,
team pick.
is like Leshrac ban, or all these anti-illusion heroes banned. Okay, now I can kind of justify a Terrorblade. That's why in the previous series, the final pick Leshrac from Fnatic, I think it was to
Radiant
predict
team
a
pick.
EG Terrorblade, and EG was like, fine, I won't pick
For sure.
Terrorblade, I'll pick a Juggernaut instead.
And this task might be some sort of an answer to a possibility of an Arc Ward on Invictus Gaming as well. I mean, task overall is just very popular, but if you get another hero that can get on top of him, you might be discouraged from picking.
10
And now,
seconds
we haven't seen
remaining.
Arc Ward in here yet, I believe, not on the mainstream. I
No.
don't think we've seen it overall.
5
He's been
seconds
banned
remaining.
twice
Yeah.
on the mainstream, I
And-
believe.
And usually he's banned when you're planning to pick Medusa or Terrorblade. So it's an option for Invictus Gaming,
Or
but...
Drow, once upon a
Or
time.
Drow, yeah. No,
Dire team
actually,
pick.
was it SC or China? I'm not sure, but I did see Drow versus TB. And I also seen a lot of Lion versus TB too.
Yeah, which is another thing, the anti-illusion hero. So you got Mana Drain to just immediately remove a Conjure Image. You got Hex to either find the real one or get rid of a Conjure Image.
And you have Finger,
10 seconds
which is
remaining.
probably the biggest thing is you can blow
Whole lot
him
of
up.
magic damage against a
5
high armor
seconds
hero like
remaining.
Terrorblade.
What does he have, like 500 HP coming
Yeah,
into the lane?
he's hella
Oh my
squish.
goodness.
I will say that IG don't have any egg hitters yet, which teams have not really prioritized Phoenix Supernova, which I think is why Phoenix is doing so well, because you're never seeing Snapfire, you're not really seeing Gyrocopter.
Jugs sometimes,
Jugs
Weaver
sometimes, I guess,
sometimes is
yeah.
an answer like from teams like Alliance, but yeah, that didn't really work out for them.
Do you
And
think they could pick Weaver since Morphling got banned out for Fly?
they could. Yeah, it's not that bad. It's good versus Phoenix. Can be decent versus the
Radiant
Terrorblade
team
as well. My personal favorite here for Invictus Gaming is still the Arc Warden. Even after the Dragonite pick, I think it would be really solid for them, but you have to have a good strategy devised around that Arc.
Still have Wraith King available as well for
10
IG.
seconds remaining.
It's just that I think with Weaver, your team would be too squishy. You need
5
someone to be
seconds
able
remaining.
to
Same
go
goes with
into a
Arc.
Supernova.
You don't have a frontliner.
Yeah, exactly, yeah. And so you may be able to get that from your offlaner, which IG may go for their JT hero now.
There's Tide still in the pool, something that we've seen
Oh, yeah.
quite a bit in the...
How's Tide TB in the lane?
When he has meta, you have nothing to do there. After
Yeah.
the meta, you can lane.
Tide has been picked a bunch, but only has a 20% win rate in this tournament.
Jeez.
That is pretty low.
Yep, the hero was really popular somewhere in the middle of the DPC
Yeah.
league, and then he fell off as well.
I don't know why.
To the likes of Mars and whatnot.
Based off of what I was
team
seeing in
ban.
this tournament, it was just because like Ravage is just too long of a cooldown.
Oh, there we go.
Oh wow.
Okay, I actually forgot about him because I've been calling for this hero for the first couple of days.
Day one, you were a big advocate for it.
I was a big advocate for PL, especially versus some Morphlings and whatnot. Versus TB, it can definitely work.
10 seconds remaining.
It's not really a matchup in which you own him at any given point of the
5
game,
seconds remaining.
but it can work for the PL.
Yeah, it's an interesting matchup because, like, okay, so Reflection is kind of irritating for Phantom Lancer, but he can Doppelganger and then get the Reflection off. But then you're also like all physical damage. Phantom Lancer is 100% physical damage, and Terrorblade is generally like, okay, I have tons of armor, I don't really care.
Yeah.
And PLs hate building an MKB, and so if you get some evasion on the Terrorblade as well, life's great.
Plus you're playing into Dragonite, Breed Fire
also
can be
high armor. And
high armor, Breed Fire itemizes usually very well against PL. If you
10
really
seconds
wanted,
remaining.
you could even go for something like a Radiance build on him.
Yeah.
Not very popular at the moment, but
5
it's
seconds
doable.
remaining.
And you can see IG now banning out the Tidehunter. Wouldn't be surprised if they perhaps ban out, what else is there? Underlord versus PL.
Underlord,
sounds
yeah.
pretty solid.
I have some good news for you. PL was picked. This is the 4th PL of the tournament, but they've only won once.
Yeah, not the greatest spot.
But this is the place to turn it around and make you proud.
Yeah.
PL gamers rise up. So,
Definitely not the first time for them to play it into likes of Terrorblade or Morphling, usually when they get it. So, right now, VICI Gaming's draft looks just way more easier to round up with the last pick.
Agreed. For IG, they still need like a frontliner.
They're just also squishy until PL gets that second item, let's say even a heart, and then it feels really good for you.
I'm really on board with the Underlord suggestion, but for IG.
Yeah.
they do.
Radiant team
Oh,
pick.
that's also a possibility.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, Underlord. I was thinking maybe Abaddon or something.
Abaddon wouldn't be bad, but
frontliner.
yeah, but we're not really seeing it in the 3 position. We're seeing it more often in the support role.
Abaddon is exclusively 5 at the moment.
Dire team
I'm on board
pick.
with Underlord.
Yeah, there we go. It's pretty good for both of these teams.
Yeah,
so.
VICI Gaming need to find an Underlord equivalent.
Yeah, because there's also this thing in which IG, if you don't pick the Underlord, VICI Gaming is taking it 100%. So you're taking a hero that's also decent for you, and you're countering VICI Gaming a little bit.
There's Legion Commander, I guess, for VICI Gaming. I'm not
5
really too
seconds
big on the
remaining.
hero, but I think in this comp it could be pretty good.
Does Old 11 play anything else but Pango at this point?
He's
Like, he
played
forgot all the other heroes.
all the other ones got bad. I mean, he has Mars every once in a while. He has Sand King.
CK.
Ooh, CK with the Terrorblade, man, that'd be filthy.
A lot of illusions coming your way definitely would be something different.
The other team has their lineup done, so maybe.
It wouldn't be bad. I would actually be pretty hyped to see
Into
that.
the Lion and everything, it can be problematic. Into the Void
The Lion
Spirit
can only
as well.
handle so many illusions, though.
And once the Axe is there from Void Spirit,
Yeah, that's
not
true.
sure, but yeah, it would be fun at least, if nothing else. You'd have strong illusions.
Legion
They
Commander.
go with the
Choose your
LC
hero.
pick
Yeah.
instead. That was a good call. A decent laner, you have something to get rid of all the controls coming from the Lion, which is also very decent. I think both of these teams are very happy with what they've got from the draft.
I mean, they're honestly mirroring each other quite a bit. I have a illusion-based carry. I have a magic damage dealing frontline offlane. I would say that, I guess, IG have a little bit more lockdown with the Lion and the Underlord, as opposed to, I guess you have like Dragon Tail and
Duel, pretty
Duel.
much. Yep.
Yeah. So
Tusk a little bit, but
Tusk a little bit.
So we have 2 roughly evenly matched teams, but only one can survive. Panel. Who is going to take it?
Yeah. Okay, so coming from the Chinese region, I've seen these teams match up before and how they match against others. I'll still go with IG. I know PL is not having nearly as high of a win rate as Terrorblade at the moment, but I just value their draft. I think they've got their full comfort zone.
All right, so usually I rely on you, Sumi, but I'm going to try to get my confidence back for playoffs with my predictions. I am also going to go IG.
Are you not going to make it spicy? Come on, man.
I think she may have a different read on the game. She may be right about things.
She's going to own us both. Let's
Put me
be
on
real,
IG and let me look like a fool.
Well, my prediction is definitely VICI Gaming. Let's make it
of
spicy.
course.
We like to make it
What
spicy
have
in
I
this
done?
panel, everybody, but I just Really like Poyo's Terrorblade. I feel like he's done really well with it, and I don't know. It's just I just feel that I feel the soul read.
Prepare
This was a
for
bad
battle.
decision by me.
She let him in the Terrorblade.
No. We haven't gotten there yet, but let's see if Terrorblade can dominate the game as we head into game 1 of IG versus VICI Gaming. Take it away, Black and MLP Dota.
Yes, thank you very much. We are here for our second playoff series of the day between IG and VICI Gaming. It is, of course, MLP Dota and the very handsome Black Dota. Black, how are you today, sir?
Very good. Had a pretty, well, at this point, pretty good lunch. I'm ready for some Chinese dotes.
You always are. I know you get very excited when the Chinese teams are playing Black. I hear you all the time. So IG versus VICI, we were talking about this a little bit before the draft was underway. Is there a particular team you're favoring going into this matchup?
Just purely based on performance pre this match or pre-major, I would choose IG, but just purely based on draft this game, I'm going to give a slight advantage to VICI Gaming. Not the biggest fan of PL in this game. The Underlord kind of salvaged it a little bit, but I think they're still going to have quite a lot of problems.
I do agree. I mean, you were kind of mentioning earlier on that there's so many ways to deal with the PL. And I mean, you look at the DK, there's not really much in the way of kind of bursting that DK down this game. Be a very rough time for IG and at least Fly on the PL. But let's see what does happen as we do get the game underway. Be a bit of a 2-for-2 trade on the banner into a very even start. Any lanes in particular you want to watch? Anything that we should really be keeping our attention on?
It really just looks like all lanes are just going to be farm lanes. If anything, there's killing potential on the bot lane, perhaps, with the Tusk as well as the LC. They catch someone out of position. But mid lane is really just a farm lane. And top lane, maybe if TB is out of position, or perhaps the Phoenix, they can capitalize on that with the Lion. But top and mid lane should just be trade, farm trade lanes, and bot lane the action lane, if anything.
Fair enough. So 11 is going to be there up against Fly. Ollie going to be around to supply Fly on that PL, and they will have the pause forward task being played by PYW. All the creep wave away. Fortune Zen's going to fly out, but that's only going to delay things. PYW, he'll be just fine. It does seem like something that we see all the time with the position 4 task. You generally want to just pull the second wave away and try to secure your own level 2. So you can just start roaming around the map and give your plus 3 as much XP as possible.
Yeah. As soon as you're level 2, there is potential for a kill in mid lane because Dragonite already skilled 11 to stun to secure some CS for him, but that could potentially translate into a kill as well, to tag team as well as Snowball. So that level 2 on Tusk, as you said, is very important for that. And also just denying, a whole creep wave in the process, giving the LC a better lane.
Certainly, of course, top lane, you see Poyo is around there with Phoenix, being played by DY. They've got Kaka and JT. Now this lane, I mean, you said it was going to be a little bit boring, a bit of a farming lane here. It does seem like Poyo is going to have a decent time, but I say that X comes out, they've got the Phoenix and they'll get first blood. JT able to pick it up. A great setup there by Kaka. Now Poyo is going to be left alone without the meta.
He played that way too aggressively. Like he was tanking the creep wave, tanking 2 heroes, and IG got level 2 before VG Gaming, of course, because we were pushing in the lane, and they capitalized perfectly on the mistake made by DY, resulting in a first blood. As we said, like the only way they killed him is if they're out of position, and he was really quite out of position there.
Certainly so. Large camp pull going on now. JT trying to intercept Phoenix. Meanwhile, mid lane, Emo going at it along with Ori. Hit the Remnant, not the Remnant land on the DK, but it wouldn't have really mattered anyway. Meanwhile, bot lane, however, Fly in a bit of danger, will charge away to the large camp. Still trying to run, but they are going to chase him down. PYW, he doesn't have any spells to throw out. So Fly is going to be just fine, and of course, Ollie will be there with the salve.
Yeah, good support play there, but you can already see the pressure starting to mount a little bit on the PL. As the levels get higher, it's just going to get harder for him to stay in the lane. Might have to retreat into the jungle somewhat early this game. Hopefully he can stay in lane until 6 for him, but we'll see if he can.
I think the LC lane's that hard. The old level can just run down Fly this game.
It's very difficult because your support partner is an Oracle. And as LC, you don't care about Oracle like at all. You have a Tusk as well. If Oracle is ever out of position, you just roll on top of him with a Snowball, tag team, And LC plus Tusk will just completely annihilate him. He has to be very careful down there.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
Little pause coming out.
Nothing wrong with that. It is a SEA tradition after all, Black. We do like our pauses here. You were mentioning earlier on you had some Kale indeed. You were mentioning you were having some nice lunch before we got started. Excuse me, Black. What kind of lunch were you having, sir?
Alright, so I had I think a chicken mushroom ragu kind of thing.
Perfect.
I'm not entirely sure what it is. It just said Western on it, so. No, I never get the details, I just get the food. And I don't really care. I'm not a picky guy. I take what I get.
You say that, but you are a very hardcore press man. I have noticed after this short conversation we had prior to this game starting. Very, very hard to impress Mr. Black. Don't try to...
If you do manage to impress me, you already won, you know? Like, you are the champion of the game. You impress me, you're the king. Go.
Hard to impress though.
See, that's what every Dota player is striving for, you know? Like, you might think, yeah, they want to win a TI or two. Nah, it's just really all about impressing me.
Bot lane, old 11, could be in a spot of danger. It's very low. It's one of those things with level 3 Oracle timing now on Ollie, you can get much more aggressive. Old 11. Maybe you're right.
I actually wonder if it was worth it, because he had a raindrop. So the damage was mitigated heavily, and he just got a heal as well from it. Maybe he healed him even more than he lost.
Very unfortunate there for Ollie. Be a little bit more careful. Fortunate then to fly out, but just a casual one. Just getting rid of the raindrops. Make sure Fly feels a bit more comfortable on this bot lane. It does seem like VICI now might get aggressive.
Looks like Radiant
YW was positioning for the tag team, but of course Fly can just doppel away.
Yeah, mid lane is just a farm fest really. Like DK will never be in a position to really die unless there's a rotation coming in with Void Spirit over 6. But if Void Spirit ever leaves, or we might be able to see a little kill here on the line perhaps.
They've got the Icarus dive.
He should
DY. Just feeling like he just doesn't have enough damage there, even with the Icarus dive.
And he really needs that Fire Spirit. And he doesn't even have level 3 yet, so his damage output isn't the greatest anyways. JT's having a fantastic time. Terrorblade also free farming though, and PL as well. The carries are doing a lot better than I thought they would. Both free farming.
Certainly so. Mid lane, we might see a bit of action. There has been some rotations coming in. PYW was around, but he's going to back off. Maybe just waiting for that 6-minute power rune to spawn. Meanwhile, top lane, however, they've got Poyo, but now the turnaround. PYW, he's got a TP in, got a tag team out, and Kaka is going to be the actual casualty. This Tusk pick, I'll tell you, Black, it's been looking very strong over the past few days, and for that reason exactly.
Yeah, and the rotations are just so strong. If you snowball from close distance, you have the shard to block people off. And LC is not really a hero that needs a whole lot of help, especially against a hero like PL, so the rotation makes a lot of sense. Just make sure that Terrorblade free farms, because he's going to be the big game winner.
Mid lane, more TPs to come in. Kaka, not going to fill up the bottle of Emo, but they're just trying to set up and stay out of vision, and now they'll make the jump in onto Ori, see if they can burst him down. He's a very tanky target, but they're throwing everything they can at Ori. He's not going to die. He might turn around now with a stun. DY with the Fire Spirit, it's going to be enough. And here comes the cavalry. PYW moving in from the left side onto Kaka with the shards out, but a nice earth spike. It's not going to be enough though. The tag team from PYW will turn it around, and that's kind of what you talked about, Black. How do you kill the DK?
Yeah, 3 points in Dragon Blood. He has Falcon Blade completed. He just got his magic wand as well, as they initiated on him. Just way too tanky, sitting at 1300 health. Had like 10 stick charges as well. And that's really the punishing you get, you know? You try to kill a hero like DK, doesn't work out. VICI's supports rotate in, you get the kill, and now a lot of tower pressure as a result as well.
Do you believe in the power of anime? The power of anime. Black. Believe Davion's going to be able to pull through with the power of anime this game.
I do think so. It's like a fantastic Dragon Knight game. Haven't really seen a better one in a long time.
Top lane, PYW.
This game, so he should be very happy.
YW and DY top lane is sneaking up on Kaka again. Shards going to be on target for Kaka. Yeah, he's just trapped up.
Third time in a row, just going on.
It's PYW though. He's just so on point with the rotations every single time. And now you see IG, they're moving up through the river. PYW, he runs right into them. They might be able to pick him off this time though. And they do. Emo able to finally punish the task. And even gets an illusion room for his trouble.
Yeah. Pick up there. Putting an end to that task of rolling 3. But still, like the carries are free-farming quite a bit. And this Terrorblade against PL matchup is pretty PL favored. Like if they both get to late game, it's gonna be a little bit troublesome for the Terrorblade here. But of course he has the Dragon Knight, who is really good against Phantom Lancer. We'll have to see what items he goes for. We've seen Radiance being very popular against the PL. Other times you just see the BKB in Mjolnir. Not a very popular choice against the PL.
The old 11 is continuously running down Lifeline, making sure he never feels comfortable enough to sit around that creep-wave bot lane. They're going to start the push now with the DK. JT's here though, on the Underlord, you'd expect he should be able to stop this.
I mean, Underlord is a hero then. Definitely just gonna sit there, spam some, what's it called, Rain of Fire? No, sorry, Firestorm. My bad. And yeah, they're 2 strength fears, they don't have the sustain to really just tank it. So good TP here by JT, making sure that they can't pressure the tower. Wasted Dragon Form in it as well.
It's a bit of chip damage.
Top
lane.
Turn.
DY.
Good escape DY.
First diving out the bot lane. Looks like they might start again. Old 11, he's rushing down onto JT. He does have the jewel up. You'd rather go for Ollie if you could, but they're not actually finding anyone yet. Both trapped on the right side of the tree line. Still VICI Gaming, they are going to be able to pressure as top lane. It looks like Fly does end up getting DY, but bot lane they might start the fight now. It was just a pit of malice though.
Yeah, Lion TP'd in as well. Doesn't have the finger available just yet.
Oh, Old 11. He was underneath vision, he went for the TP, he will get punished immediately.
Yeah, that is such a big kill for them. Alleviates the pressure on the bot tower, and will give him the top tower as a result as well, because of course LC was the king comes to try to defend the tower. Very well played by IG here.
Certainly so. IG definitely a team you can't underestimate. They were performing very well throughout the Chinese DPC. Extremely strong. Very surgical team, to say the least, here IG.
Definitely. They have impressed pretty much everybody in the DPC league. Nobody expected them to do as well as they did. You know, JT has always been a standout player on the team. He's performing very well here on Spawn. Probably one of the best offlane players in China at this point.
I would have to agree with you on that. They will calm down for a bit. Mid lane, it was being pressured just a tad. But they'll leave it be for now. Emo, he'll come back in. Ori, of course, just gonna push it out. Siege Creep can be left alone. VICI Gaming don't really want to have to commit yet to that big T1 tower push.
Might see a smoke up here by the 2 supports. Finger is online. Gonna maybe they bring the Underlord as well. There's a lot of burst potential here with that Finger. Finger plus Oracle. Probably like even Dragon Knight can die at this point. So even though it's very tanky, they have to pull the Finger down now.
That they do. But now they won't smoke up. They're just gonna kind of sit back, farm some creeps, relax. So just a slight net worth lead for the side of IG.
Yeah, and I think this slow game is really favoring IG, in this game at least, because his PL went for the Yasha first, going for the Manta style before Diffusal actually, so he sets himself up for a very slow game as well. He just wants to play the farming game, because otherwise he would be going into Diffusal Blade. Manta style is really more of a defensive approach.
Emo, Dragon Tail is there, Earthspike to follow up, the Invis is still on the deck, but Emo doesn't want to even try, he'll just make a run for it. PYW, Snowball going to be out onto Kaka, they love going after the Lion. It's not going to reach for the stun, but they do have the Walrus Punch and the tag team, and they'll get the jewel off, but there is going to be protection from the False Promise to save the day for Kaka. And now the double stun out, the Finger, they'll get over 11 just before Kaka dies. Onto the DK node, they want DY first, they'll get the Phoenix, moving forward now onto PYW. They have the Spirit Vessel. They could definitely kill off Davion, or rather Ori, on the TK. Ime's going to try and chase him down. The Remnant going to catch him just on the edge, and they should be able to finish him off now. He'll keep trying to run. It's going to be a while. A very slow process. In fact, never mind. Poyo now going to show up. The demon himself. And they do not want to deal with the devil yet. Go back.
He's actually insanely high level on Terrorblade. Level 11 already. Higher than anybody in the game. Good rotation bottom to help his teammates as well as get power. And he's really popping off this game. Again, the matchup against Phantom Lancer is not good. Like, he will have to use every item timing he gets this game. He'll have a St. Joshua soon. Probably will go to maybe after that, and then latest they'll need to start doing some action.
I'm curious as well, Black. I'm not sure if you've seen it, but over in the best region in the world, North America, we do have a team called Arkosh, and they do play a lot of PL. The build-up being the Shard Aetherlens. What do you think about that kind of build-up on Phantom Lancer?
Shard Aetherlens? I've seen that build before, and I theorized a little bit on like why it can be good. It's usually very good if you just can't fight at all. Like, you're super hard counter. Guys like Sand King, Leshrak, Phoenix, for example, you know? Like, you're not comfortable going in, so rather you just want to deal the damage from far away, let you lose and deal all the damage. But this game, he will be able to just get Manta Diffusal hard.
Nice bit of Malice to set up. Emo gonna jump right in with the step, but they have a snowball to save the day. Sunray was a time ID. Wide Shards will actually block the river now. They're gonna try and go back in. With the DK, Ori, he's very confident, but he's dropping very fast. Kankan meanwhile being chased down, but no, they save him again. The Lion just gonna get away once again with his life intact. Maybe not so lucky though for JT. He will drop, and Kankan, in fact, he does not get through the false promise. He gets the hills out. VICI, they want to keep going. PYW, he's going to drop to Ollie, but it looks like VICI are more than happy to just keep following down the support Oracle. They might find another. Ollie try and buy a bit of space and time. The TP away, he might actually just make it out, but no, they have the damage output. Old 11 with the slap just before he gets away.
Very close here. This Phantom Lancer is just avoiding fights for now because he won't be ready to fight until he has his Manta Stell. They're probably going to go into the Diffusal Blade after, which is really the item you need to be able to join fights. Just Manta Stell alone doesn't really give you enough damage, so they will be fighting 4v5 for quite a while here on IG, and they're doing a very good job at doing that.
That they are. Very impressive stuff so far. Fly.
Back up now as well. Rod of Aethos also, I love that build up on JP here. One of the more aggressive approaches. Aethos, of course, if you lack catch, which they do, it makes perfect sense. Pit setup with the Aethos, getting the double root. Very strong against heroes like Tusk.
Nice power spike on old 11 as well, Black. You've got the Blink Dagger up now on the LC.
So they're going double Blink, actually. DK also just finished his Blink, so they will be looking to smoke up here. Having two Daggers. It's a little bit awkward. Oh, they might be going on Emo. Does he smell it out? He does.
Fine. Getting sense there from Emo.
Usually going two Blink Daggers means that your fighting ability is not as strong. Like, you have two Initiators now, but you have no one that really deals the damage, you know, other than Terrorblades. So we'll have to see if that ends up biting them in the butt or not.
Smoke. VICI, they'll leave Poyo behind. Straight through the river. Who are they aiming for? JT, he TP's out at the right time. Again, great game sense from IG. They're gonna hang around that T2 tower.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
They have no vision here.
11 already go for it. He wants the Oracle burn to make it last up. They're trying for JT. Duel out immediately. False promise, not going to be there. Might be a cooldown instead. Egg now, committed by VICI. They want to keep going. Old 11, he can't catch anyone else, but PYW can. He gets the Oracle Ollie. He's going to die. And VICI Gaming. 2-for-0 trade right into the mid-tier 1 tower. Well, we thought IG was outplaying the Black, but VICI, they look good.
They do look very good. They have. This is why Phoenix is such a strong hero this major and has been for the past couple of months as well. The Sunray is dealing so much damage. The duel on the Underlord, Sunray just burning him down from full health. A lot of damage coming out from him there. The Terrorblade is getting very close to his BKB, which is his very scary power time in this game. He will be on par with the Diffusal Blade, which then will render the Diffusal Blade, of course, very useless.
be a real big problem. Poya.
Yeah, for sure. Dragon Knight is itemizing into BKB. I like that a lot. To be able to frontline for your Terrorblade and for your LC to find an opportunity to get a duel off.
Smoke up though, IG.
Right to mid lane. Big smoke up here. Tusk might be the casualty.
PYW. He makes some magic happen, but exits out. They should have the follow-up stun. Bursted down, they do. Old 11, that was a very confident blink in, sir. He's going to try and make his way out now, but how do you? He's quite fast, but Emo is not done chasing. He really wants this kill, or he will come in for the stun. They'll make their escape. Only losing the task, but for IG, they might be able to set up for that top tier 2 now. That jewel. Yeah, they've caught the big one. They have caught out Emo, and it looks like Emo gonna die. Old 11, a great initiation in. IG, they weren't around to help out, and VICI just understanding that takes full advantage.
Radiant's
Also flip that means they won't lose the tower. 3 minute 20 for that outpost, of course, very important. Terrorblade continuing to farm up as well. Off here by IG, or by VG rather, sorry.
That's the thing, right? Like every time you do get a pick off, you make more space for Poyo. He really has not been contested whatsoever this game. About the BKB timing, but it's out now.
He is going to be an absolute beast in the next team fight. PL is still a 2,000 gold away from his diffuser blade, and they could potentially be threatening Roshan here with that BKB plus tag team. Of course, Phoenix around the Roche pit also very scary. To see what VG chooses to do here. Because they can also, of course, just look for a team fight, try to dominate the map instead.
Still very big concern here for Fly. Like you talked about the diffusal blade not really being that effective while the BKB's up on the TB. Now with that diffusal blade, you're kind of going to be waiting for that next item pickup perhaps before you really want to get involved by Fly. Maybe just trying to tank up with the heart later on. It might be a while for IG.
But they do have a lot of percentage damage here. Another smoke up by VG.
Structures are fortified.
Run into anyone unfortunate enough to counter them.
They actually wanted old 11 top lane. He's going to make a very nice TP out. Emo TP'd in to try and help with that kill, but they could not find him. VICI, they're still smart.
Also dodging them.
Smoke won't really mean anything in VICI gaming either.
Yep. No kill. They just kind of want the carries to farm up, but of course now with the BKB online, TDT is very strong. They're starting to pressure the bot tower, and I don't think IG really wants to fight this. Perhaps an Underlord wants to keep it here and spam a little bit, but let's be very careful. Look at it, just giving us the power and trading for the top one.
Nice even trade. They should see the BKB now, Poyo, so choosing not to go for the fight.
bottom tower has fallen.
Underlord going for the pipe to mitigate some of that Phoenix damage. That's going to be really, really important. Like we spoke about previously a bit before the game started, how strong Heart is, but they have one of the strongest Heart counters in the game, which is Phoenix with their Sunray, which of course deals percentage damage. He'll be a really big nuisance for Fly, and Fly. He'll probably be looking to take him out first.
Yeah. You were definitely very upset about this Heart item. You're not a big fan yourself. Certainly. But
I mean, I love buying it simply because it's so broken, but it's just too good this patch. Yeah. Whoever gets a Heart is just suddenly too strong. Another smoke up here. Lion picked up the Blink Dagger.
Could find DY be a great start. DY, oh, that's a great blink in from Kaka with the Hex, but the Earth Spike does not land, and now the Icarus dive back. They want to try and punish Kaka for this. Ollie will be around to protect. Meanwhile, the Dark Rip is there from JT. Everyone should be fine, but oh, that's a great chance. It just won't matter.
Yeah, might be getting caught out here.
Fly's been left alone. The real Snowball's going to connect. Kaka there to save the day perhaps, but no. PYW, he jukes out the stun. Doppel is there. They find the right PL. Old 11, he's out of mana. Now the finger there onto PYW. Emo rejoins the fight. The Egg committed. They're going to try and fight under this. The Echo being taken down. IG, can they get in time? Yeah, they can. Onto Poyo now. But never mind, they want the rest. Ollie goes down. Old 11, he will drop the Fly. But there's your big Terrorblade. The BKB's over. Still chasing down Fly. But he's going to be just fine to Doppel away again. And they will just pick them off one by one. Already dropped on the DK. And Poyo was the only one left. DY, he bought back for this. But what is this TP?
Be careful, I'm not sure why this cancel it. He's just gonna be dying here again. I think
that's a big mistake.
Very late buyback, and then he chose to keep in anyways.
Big mistake there from DY, a very long respawn time, and now 60 seconds just about, and they know he doesn't have buyback for the next team fight. That could affect him as well for the next Roshan attempt when he does come up.
Definitely could be the case. And you saw the fight, you know, it looked very promising here for VG Gaming. Catching out the real PL. It was all just a bait. PL fighting back with the help of Lion, using his spells very well. Hexing the Impale. And they just turned it around. DK was nowhere to be found. He wasn't even part of that fight until very later.
He wasn't.
Like, DK needs to be there straight away. He offers the splash damage against the PL still. You know, like, he needs to be part of the fight ASAP.
Does seem that way. I mean, VICI Gaming, it looked good for a second, but as soon as that egg got taken out, it just seemed like it was all over. It seemed like it was Fly getting away with his life intact. Obviously, a very confusing TP run at the end of that team fight, but that won't matter. We didn't see it. All good.
Well, at least he didn't die on Terrorblade, so he's still sitting on top of the network by quite a good margin.
Is under attack.
PL, no item queued up yet, but I'd imagine we're just gonna see that hard. Come and pick up here, perhaps a Skadi. Very good tool against the Dragon Knight as well as Terrorblade.
That isn't the eye of Skadi of PB, right? So like, Bahat not going to be quite as effective for the PL, but you still reckon Fly, for Fly Fight's still probably going to be a pretty good item pick up on this side, this Phantom Lancer.
Yeah, so the problem is with TB against PL, it's so incredibly difficult to ever find the real one. He has two ways to get rid of the reflection, so just to be able to even apply that Skadi on the Phantom Lancer usually implies that Phantom Lancer's team is dead, and that he's kind of singled out. Which then, in that case, it wouldn't matter whether they had hard or another item.
Might see a smoke here from VICI now. Grouping up in that mid lane, they'll commit the smoke.
Big smoke, 5 man. Very unusual to smoke 5, usually it's like 4, and one guy showing in lane, but bring the fight to the Phantom Lancer in the triangle.
They still feel like they're quite strong. They'll have to remember DY cannot buy back for this fight. VICI.
But just look at IG's movement, like they just know exactly what's happening. What's been pushing up top, Underworld pushing up bottom.
Mid lane, however, Jules does at least catch out the Oracle. That should be only gone. 11. Now 30 Jules damage for himself, but it's kind of like you said, right? With the 5-man smoke, you want something a lot bigger than a position 5 Oracle. VICI probably not going to be that happy.
Perhaps they're looking for Roshan here. Oracle dead for 20, no buyback. They do have Technique, Metamorphosis is available as well. Real quick here.
Tag team activated. Roshan going down very fast. Emo scouted out with the 8th of Remnant. Now Metapop, Koyo getting ready. Warrior's Punch is there. However, Kaka, they want the line dead. First when the finger is out. PYW, he will time first, but Kaka does go down. Onto Emo. He'll dissimulate. Old 11 though is on the chase, keeping up vision. Emo needs to run the best he can, but the Sunray damage from DY really burning him down.
Pick up at 1. Can't find him.
He's going to be fine. But now IG, they could go back to the Roshan.
Problem is, VG used Dragon Form, used all their BKBs, Metamorphosis running out very shortly, and that means that Phantom Lancer will be pretty much unchecked. He bought the Reave already, sitting at 2.6k health. I don't think VG will feel confident to fight this Roshan here. Should just go to IG.
Seems that way. How do you fight without the meta? Seems way too hard. IG, they're not going to capitalize. Though.
Excuse me, sorry?
I don't think IG is really going to capitalize, at least for the Roshan for now. It looks like they're just going to sit back and farm a bit longer.
Yeah, it seems that way, which is a little bit surprising to me. But of course, you know, PL 600 gold away from the heart, which is really a power spec. Like, Reaver is good, but Heart really takes it to the next level. Also gave TV opportunity to pick up a Skadi though. Egg, only 40 seconds on cooldown now. Metamorphosis should be up for the next team fight as well. So the little hesitation here from IG, giving VG a chance to fight back at the Roshan potentially.
Hey, how long are they gonna wait? You could still even just go for a smoke and try to get a gank attempt going into the Roshan of the IG, but it just seems like they are not whatsoever. Maybe now that Fly does have the full heart up, perhaps that's the time to actually pop the smoke and go.
Yeah, but it's also the tier 3 neutral items time, so Fly definitely wants to try and pick up a Paladin sword here. It would be perfect for him. increasing that health region as well as giving him life leech, of course. But they're gonna smoke up with that hard pickup. 5-man again. Move towards the enemy triangle here.
Closest person to them is going to be Old 11 on the LC. We'll see on the LC. Actually find him. Old 11 going to back off at the exact right time. G, a TB illusion, but they should know it's fake. Luke is not going to break.
Teams just know all the time when the other team is smoked. Like that's the problem when you 5-man smoke. You know, no one is pushing out any lanes. It's a very obvious kind of smoke move, and neither team got caught by it so far.
Reading each other like a book. VICI just going to stick by on that high ground, make sure they do not get caught with their pants down. On IG, they will back off. They will find another opportunity for themselves. Still plenty of farm to go for Fly to boost. There's no real rush for him. It's scale very nicely as the peel. Speaking of carries though,
I'm a bit afraid for this peel, you know? Like, if this game goes to like this minute 40, 50 territory, where DK is very farmed, Phoenix is very farmed, and Terrorblade is very farmed, it's gonna be incredibly hard for this PL to have any sort of impact. They will have too much damage to deal with him. I feel like right now is a gold boom timing for him. When his DK isn't really strong enough to deal with him, they only have the Phoenix against him.
That's the thing I was about to bring up as well, like Poyo, he's going to have the Aghanim Scepter up and about 2k Golders. Pick off there, Old 11 does eventually go down. Kaka.
Easy with the finger here.
Nice and easy. Top side, Fly, he was taking a bit of a chase, but EYW's going to be just fine.
And they're going to Roche pit here, but they don't really seem to be on the same page. JT is hitting Roche, Fly hitting neutral creeps. But again, like, bring it back to the same point. Like, I want IG to force something here because this PL at this point is nigh unkillable, and he should really be making use of it.
Mid lane, Sunray is out, Spike is there, onto the DK, still fine for now, but Ori is starting to drop low. He'll get the BKB up, they want to try and burst down Elo, but he does get the false promise in time. Egg was committed, but JT, he starts the car, he gets the taxi, he wants out of this, and he will pull himself out. VICI could not pick up anyone.
And Dragon Knight, BKB, as well as Old also expanded. So that should give them a pretty good opportunity to start being aggressive on the map, possibly take the Roche on them.
Will they though? IG, VICI Gaming, of course, trying to avoid that area. Making way there over. Fly.
Now I think. Yep, feeling very confident. I mean, DK just can't fight without BKB. And Dragon Form, of course, is one of the strongest tools against Phantom Lancer. And that's on cooldown right now, so I don't really think he wants to fight this here. Perhaps disturb them a little bit, but I don't think they can take a full-on brawl here.
So they want to try. Kind of feels awkward to give that H away. PYW, Old 11 in fact might get caught. Nice to assimilate out from Emo. The Resonant Pulse, he's caught out one. It's going to be the LC. Old 11, he'll turn right back around though. Aura's Punch, BKB, they get PYW. He'll fight back onto the PO Fly. To be able to topple out, but Poyo is on the chase along with the LC. Old 11 could not find his dual target. Now the turnaround, Kaka again with the Earth Spike, but a great snowball now to save the day. Allow Poyo to BKB up and turn right back around, even without the meta. They want to fight. They'll go straight into the back lines. Kaka, he'll go down first, but PYW, he'll dive back. Emo, let's get the task. The Old 11, he's falling quite low. Fly JT will be able to kill off the LC. Right back onto Ori. But now he's fine with the BKB. Doesn't seem like they'll have enough damage, but Emo is waiting for the right moment. In fact, never mind. They want the big one. They want Poyo. The TV just completely taken out by IG onto the DK. Ori. He's going to get caught on Emo. He lets them know about it. Into the mid-tier 2 they go.
And this is the problem VICI is running into now. They have no way to deal with the Phantom Lancer. We spoke about the bad matchup Terrorblade against Phantom Lancer. There's just absolutely nothing you can do. DK is not farmed enough to deal with the Phantom Lancer. And Phoenix Egg was on cooldown, so they're just looking to go high ground here. No buyback on Terrorblade. no buy because Tusk and LC either.
Yeah, IG gonna find out about it.
Buyback is really not gonna do a whole lot.
Jump in again, right onto DY, underneath the T4 towers, Emo. Balls of steel. Just does not care, he's right in. That'll be one racks down, Black, and I'm thinking they're going for another. They've still got 30 seconds to go without Poyo.
They can go for another Rex, and then I believe after that Rex, they can even go for Roshan. Like, they are on a complete tear right now. There's really nothing. They can stop the Phantom Lance at this time. Already picking up his next item. It's gonna be that Basher. Makes them even stronger, more tanky, getting more damage, and giving him some sort of disable as well.
Dark Rift JT taking no chances. Everyone jump in. Easy.
Goodbye, sirs. And they're going straight into the Roche pit, I think, taking the outpost. And it's gonna be so difficult here for VG to mount a comeback. Like, Peel is one of those heroes, you know, if you have the right tools to deal with him, he doesn't seem that strong, but if you don't, like in this game, he can just be an absolute menace.
That he is. Black, what I'm wondering is, what is VG going to do to come back into this game? I mean, they're 2 racks down now, 11k net worth deficit for them. What can they do?
So what they need to do, the only way they can really win it, but it's going to be difficult also because Oracle has Blink Dagger as well as level 2 False Promise, is they need to duel the Phantom Lancer and they need to somehow kill him with Sunray while Dragon Knight jumps the backline Oracle so he can't like False Promise him. That's the only chance they have because the longer these fights go, the more damage PL deals, the less they can deal with him. He's just running into the backlines unchecked every team fight right now.
Fly even gonna go for an Iron Starting himself now, not even bothering for the Abyssal Blade. Unless he's already got it. On the courier, but it doesn't seem to be the case. Even Emo.
Going Basher, just to be able to man fight against those BKBs. Dragon Knight BKB as well as Terrorblade, of course. And there's a 5-man smoke up here. A little bit of a desperation smoke. We'll have to see if they can get a good fight here. Like, they need this fight. It's going to be the game-deciding fight. If they lose this one, I think it's all but over for VG.
Only for VG Gaming, they can't afford to let IG take the Roshan. Try and go for a big smoke up. Who do they pick first, though? That'd be a great target, but they're going to go after JT first. They'll go for the tankier target. The Terror Wave is there. Poyo, he sends everyone running the other way. JT, he may have been left behind, and he has been. He's right in. Bingo TY. He's going to get bursted on the Phoenix. Kaka. He's going to be able to force off a way back on a fly. He's just man fighting up against everyone. He doesn't care at all. Onto PYW. Now old 11. He's trying to survive, but he just can't. Onto a double. Fly. Down towards the Terrorblade. He will get Poyo. There is no saving VG Gaming. IG just so surgical with their play, and the GG's called. You must be a proper Black because you called it.
Yeah, it's just at this point it's like winnable. VG also knows that of course they just have no damage to deal with the Phantom Lancer, and the game looked really close, you know. They had their double Blink Dagger timing, but VG couldn't really make good use of that. IG it just felt like completely one-sided. Like VG was just done. They could not deal with him.
Absolutely. We'll see if VG Gaming can change things up for Game 2 and force to a Game 3. For now, it's MLP and Black, and we're going to send it back over to the panel to see what they had to think about this Game 1.
Thank you very much, MLP and Black. Well, boys, you were right. I was wrong.
Vindication. My gosh, I could not have started off my playoff like that. That would have been a bad look.
Finally, Sumi is wrong in one of the predictions.
It only took 4 days.
Hey, man, it's okay to be wrong. I'm fine with being wrong.
Tell that to VG Gaming. Because I think that, in retrospect, I look at that draft and I think having 2 highly cooldown-dependent cores between the Dragon Form and Metamorphosis is a hard thing to fight uphill against.
They still fought really, really well. They weren't weak in any shape or form. Their draft was also pretty decent, in my opinion. It's just that IG has their number. They played this team before. They won 2-0. Now it's looking very similar. And Emo Man was so on point once again. This Void Spirit is really doing... Like, you can say, I don't know... Abed is pushing puck to the limits. Emo, whatever he plays, he looks that way. Sometimes he has a very bad game in which he just feeds completely. This wasn't one of those. Just overall, JT as well on this Underlord wasn't pretty much killable throughout the whole game. They used his ulti very, very well
So
to
many
poke.
saves.
Yeah, it's not even only saves. It's to poke, to force those big cooldowns that you talked about, and then you just reload out of those with the Uber back home. Fight another day. So.
Yeah.
So would you rate that Underlord 5-star?
5 stars.
5-star Uber right there. Doesn't talk, just drives, gets you where you want to go.
Real clean stuff. And I do think that that touch and go behavior from IG wasn't just, like you said, a product of the draft, but I think IG is familiar with how VICI played, not just from the DPC, but after seeing 18 of their games over the past 3 days, it just seemed like they had a read on them.
And this fight in which Terrorblade is running away, you can see Phoenix buying back, dying back. It wasn't the first time in the game. It was the first time, but wasn't the last time that he did it. But this whole fight started because of the bait. They tried to go on the PL. He ran all the way from mid lane River to the tier 2 on the bottom lane. And then he even lived and turned onto them.
And whenever they finally do kill Underlord, look how much effort it takes.
This is like one kill that they made on him later on. And
and then the rest of the team was like, okay, great. All your cooldowns are spent, and Void Spirit can just come in and do whatever he wants.
Yep, really good itemization by the PL as well. Nothing extraordinary, but sometimes you see players not go for Manta. You definitely need to do so versus the Terrorblade. You need Doppelgang and you need Manta on top of that to get rid of Reflection if it gets on top of you. Just very solid from IG. Really what I expected from the draft and what I expected from this team. We haven't seen them play for a while, but they haven't changed at all.
So this is up to your standard then?
Which isn't truly that high, but they just played really, really well. Yeah.
Well, I guess it probably has to be one of the highest in Dota, right? If we're talking like top 3 teams, IG probably has to be in your contention right now based off of DPC performance.
Yeah, for sure.
And what we've seen from the other regions. This is the creme de la creme.
100%, and specifically they let the Terrorblade go through, a hero that's been so highly contested in the group stages and the wildcard, and they dealt with it. They also opened up with their full comfort zone. It's not like they switched things up heavily. No, they played to the script that they used before, and it worked for them. Kaka did feed a bit. There are some negatives.
That's just life.
He was the lowest net worth support at one point, which isn't that great, but yeah.
So what you're saying is Kaka is not your MVP?
Probably not.
Probably not.
The MVP, yeah, but he had a decent game. The early game was rough, as it sometimes happens for Lion, before you get that blink or whatnot. At least Tranquil, so you can run away faster.
Well, the MVP for this match is not Kaka, unfortunately. It is Fly.
And very well deserved. I was questioning if he's going to have the confidence coming into the series, but definitely did have that and more some. This PL was on point with everything he did.
How happy are you that PL got a win, making the win rate 50% now, and also doing so well getting MVP?
We're working our way back up.
Yep.
I don't think that he's a carry that you can pick as frequently as the other ones that we'll be seeing, but I guess what was the situation that made Phantom Lancer look so good here? I guess they like the Terrorblade matchup, which is reasonable. Terrorblade generally is supposed to be more of a single target oriented damage dealer. Dealing with illusions not really his strong suit. Good against Phoenix. Being able to double or juxtapose off of the egg is always nice. You don't hit it any faster, but at least you have a bunch of
and
illusions.
you can get rid of Fire Spirits, and you have like overall you're really good in the lane versus him. Later on you have a lot of built-in attack speed to deal with the egg, plus you itemize that way too. So.
And then I guess the last thing is it also encourages the fact that, like you said, they don't need Oracle to have a combo to make their first phase Oracle be viable. Phantom Lancer Oracle, that's not a thing. I guess it could be a thing with like Fortune's End Root, but like it's not really a thing.
When you think about it a little bit, Old 11, they did put him on LC and countered themselves a little bit because you're playing into an Oracle. So those duels won't really be that easy. There's either disarm or disarm on your own target so he doesn't take magic damage, or you have just false promise in the end. So.
Right, there was a time where LC initiated on a hero, but then Oracle was right there, so it just looked like no damage was done the entire duel. We have another game because it is a best of 3, so they have the opportunity to turn it around. But first, we'd like to give a shout out to Toomey. Take performance to the next level with Toomey. We have a Tahoe Finch backpack designed for freedom of movement and maximum utility for gamers on the go. You can follow Toomey at Toomey Travel to explore more about elevating life on the move. We will have Game 2 right after this.
Shopee for Mega Shopping Day. Shopee for Mega Shopping Day.
Shopee for Mega deals, free shipping every day. Shopee for Mega Shopping Day.
Shopee for Mega Shopping Day.
Shopee for Mega Shopping Day.
Shopee for Mega deals, free shipping every day. Shopee for Mega Shopping Day.
Get the best deals this Shopee for Mega Shopping Day.
Come on, let's play. Ain't nothing gonna hold us down. Ain't no stopping us now. We got the keys, we're running this town. Come on, let's play.
This is not your grandfather's apprentice. The winner will receive the once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to work for me as my protege. You bombed, and you bombed.
I've fallen a million times, but I get back up and I fight, and that's what you guys will do.
This is the toughest apprentice in history. May the best warrior win.
We all have different adventure stories to tell. Different paths, different choices. I chose an unusual path, a choice that is not for everyone. You are constantly moving from place to place. You have to sacrifice a lot of time. You have to focus to be on top.
Ice does have 4-star available. Oh, Ice, he's in trouble.
Every journey has ups and downs. All you need is to focus on your goal.
Just eating them all alive. GG, let's go!
We all have different adventure stories to tell, and mine is just getting started.
Pressure, rising on the edge of taking every.
IG and VICI Gaming. IG did fantastic in the first game. Their first game playing in the major on LAN.
They did
what do you guys think?
Fantastic in the major. They did fantastic in the league. Why are we even bothering right now? Give IG the championship. Strongest region, strongest team in the strongest region. It seems like a foregone conclusion at this
It's
point.
probably the best way for them to start the league, major as well, because they're playing versus something they've already played before. They're playing VICI Gaming that they've defeated in the DPC league. They understand them inside and out. So, there isn't really a better way to warm up for the rest of the playoffs.
Real quick, one question. You just said China was the strongest region.
I did.
I know yesterday we have heard that Europe was also considered the strongest region. What is the strongest region?
That's the whole point of this major.
SA. What do you mean?
Give me one more series and I might be singing a different tune, saying South America is the strongest region in the world.
For sure.
Every single day we have a different equation. Right now I'm leaning China just because 3 Chinese teams in upper bracket. That seems like a pretty good look.
Yeah. this series aside, I'm sad I won't be doing the next one, the SA versus
God,
EU. It's gonna be bang. I'll be watching from the room. Definitely.
I'm not even doing my preparation on that series. I'm looking back at Kiev Major 2017.
SG.
SG Esports dethroning Secret. Oh man, if we can get a repeat performance, I'm telling you, perfection.
There's definitely a lot riding on that game for the #1 team in the group stage to go against what is considered the #1 team in the world. What do you think is going to come out of that? Do you think that South America will come out with some cool stuff?
Yeah, based off of IG, I'm looking at it. I'm like, okay, even though you haven't been playing a lot of games. You're probably still playing Dota. You're probably scrimming a lot. And so IG coming in hot, I have no reason to doubt Secret whatsoever. It's just, it's a more exciting storyline if they do lose.
Yeah, it is definitely way more exciting because in this series, you don't have an opportunity to really shake things up. Like, VICI Gaming wins, okay, IG wins, yeah, sure. Like, we're hyped for both of these teams. They're playing quality Dota. The storyline, however, is, at least for us, it's one of the two Chinese teams that are going to come out on top. Meanwhile, in the West, you have Secrets, you have SA, and it's like, man, SA, they're given a chance, Thunder Predator, they're given a chance to shake everything up, to make Europe look like fools, pretty much.
Make the world look like fools. I'm telling you, give me one more series, and I can't wait to say that South America is the strongest region in Dota.
South America has done fantastic so far, starting in the group stage. I'm glad to see it. I'm glad to see a good representation from all the regions in going into playoffs.
One of these teams that are facing off, obviously, VICI Gaming have played against the let's say contenders to be the strongest region in the world.
Hear, yes.
And they have also beaten them at least one of the games. They tied the best of 2 series, so they definitely did show that the monster can bleed. But yeah, we'll see if they manage to do the same to IG and even it out.
Yeah, I'm also. I guess I'm kind of reevaluating series strength because we're in BO3s now.
Right.
It's not just these BO2s where the draft, I guess, is not quite as important. There's not a meta that involves within a 3-game series.
It's more about the whole group stage meta.
Exactly.
When it comes to the two-game series, when it comes to the 3-game series, you can adjust a little bit and perhaps play against. You obviously in the best of 2s as well. You're playing against one team, but everyone is kind of having this hive mind in which you're trying to take each other's ideas. Here, you can adjust to that and just ban out the team that you're playing against.
So in a series like this, I don't think that VICI should ban IO first phase. I think you may want to ban Oracle first phase.
It's possible.
Because they're down a game, they don't have any wiggle room.
But when you're down a game, do you really want to play against IO? If they pick it?
So it is double elimination, so VICI Gaming are not gone if they lose this.
Wasn't it Wings with Lash or CDEC with Lash?
CDEC with Lash. Shadow didn't know how to play Lash.
Yeah, and then okay, maybe this is the situation for
EG let it
Gaming.
go through, and then there you go. That's the secret. I mean, no one has intel on it. Maybe they've scrimmed it. Maybe they've seen that Fly knows how to play IO, but I don't think it's a guarantee.
So what do you think VICI Gaming can do to improve their gameplay from last time?
Nothing much necessarily. Their gameplay was fine. I didn't see too many big mistakes overall.
They would give Old 11 a hero that he can have more influence on.
Yeah, he was banned out, sadly.
He was banned out.
Yeah, the Beastmaster banned, Pango banned,
Mars banned.
Mars banned. Yeah, lots of these heroes that are. Really just Pango.
It was like Pango, I think Mars, Pango.
Exactly. So
it was very heavily favored toward Pango.
Yeah, very similar bans once again. Same bans from VICI Gaming pretty much.
10 seconds
so
remaining.
Does this mean Oracle?
It's Oracle, most likely. Maybe IG wants to switch things up a little bit.
Yeah, that's the other thing. Well, they go with it anyway. But
why would you mess with 100% winning strategy?
I was about to advocate by saying, if you are up in a 3-game series,
you can experiment.
But do you want that momentum to swing the other way.
That momentum will swing the other way eventually if they continue winning with first pick Oracle.
Yeah, then EG is going to be like,
they're going to ban
I don't think so,
yeah.
man.
Yeah, or take it.
Who is VICI Gaming going to pick first?
Yeah, we have the Phoenix, we have the Mars still in the pool that they love. Maybe they'll switch things up a little bit and go back to those crazy position 5s that they like to do, like Luna, maybe Gyro. Nah, Phoenix.
So you mentioned earlier that you really wanted Old 11 to get a hero that he's comfortable with, and Mars is on that list.
I think they should.
Why do you think they picked Phoenix over Mars?
No, they can still pick it. They still have one more pick in the first phase. The problem was in that last game they valued TB over Mars.
As for your question, I actually don't know why they picked the Phoenix over Mars, because I think Mars shows less, and IG can't really take Phoenix. Phoenix Oracle feels like a bad support duo, and then I don't really think JT would be as influential on a Phoenix as well if they give it to offlane.
Okay, Shadow Shaman, PYW. They're going back to their full comfort zone. That's it. This is DPC China upper division, moving away from first picking the Terrorblade.
Yeah.
But this should be now, again, very similar bans coming from Invictus Gaming. We'll see that Mars probably. Maybe a Puck as well, like in the last game.
I'm not on board. I don't know why first phase a support duo. If you know Old 11's going to get targeted out. What is Shaman offering for you, as we already see the Mars
Okay, so there's a reasoning behind Shaman, definitely. You're playing versus a Void Spirit.
Okay.
So usually you want a Lion or a Shaman versus Spirits, right? It helps a lot.
Why not just get the Puck?
You could have, yeah. You could have just gotten a Puck instantly.
remaining.
That's...
I feel like support duo first phases are probably among the weakest draft openings that I've seen throughout all the group stage and the wildcards.
Yep.
I like a mid and a support. I like an offlane as support. I don't like carry and support, but I think support duo is just it shows too much too early on.
Yep. VICI Gaming is showing everything. Meanwhile, Invictus Gaming isn't even showing what lanes they're going. Right?
Yeah.
Like Void Spirit can be 4, can be offlane. They've pretty much always played it mid lane exclusively, but it's still flexible.
And Oracle's definitely going to go to Oli. But
this is like Mars, Puck, Storm, something like that. You ban out these 3 heroes, you're very happy. Oracle, Void Spirit hate playing versus high mobility heroes, so...
VICI Gaming may let JT's Timbersaw slip through this time, though.
You think? They banned out Troll Timber last time,
Yeah,
right?
so that Troll ban was Timber's slot last time.
So they just switched it up, like Troll first, Timber
Maybe.
second. Yeah, it's probably that.
5 seconds
I don't think
remaining.
you want to give him the full comfort zone. You do have a lot of control with Shadow Shaman, but...
Timber gets a Lotus, then all of a sudden Shaman's like, oh wait, I feel kind of dumb now.
Okay, Beast.
They're waiting, they're waiting.
Slowly.
IG's, they're like, ooh, are they actually going to let us have this?
IG probably with the Storm ban now, I would assume so. Maybe they'll flex it up a little bit with something different, but...
10 seconds remaining.
There's also Ember that we saw in the same matchup, Void Spirit versus Ember.
5 seconds remaining.
I just value Storm the most here.
If they do ban out Storm Spirit, could Ori then go to T?
Not necessarily. Not like you can pick that hero, but you really want to dominate the lane and then have certain matchups. It's not a hero that you just pick at any given point. By the way, that Prophet is still in the pool. Something that I didn't notice.
That Prophet was like completely ignored, or maybe last phase
I think it was
banned?
banned in the second phase last game, something like that.
Shadow Fiend.
Interesting.
Is that Shadow Fiend? I'm just making sure.
Yeah, it is.
Okay.
It is. So SF as well came back as an answer to DP in the Chinese region.
10 seconds remaining.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Same as TA.
Yeah.
It's not a hero that you just pick.
Does that mean that you think IG is going to pick DP?
Ban out a Tide Hunter.
VICI could get it. Like, I wouldn't mind VICI Gaming that Prophet as well.
Be down for that. They do let the Timbersaw go through, so IG may have eyeballs on that.
Yeah, because that Prophet is actually pretty scary versus Timber throughout the game.
I just really want them to pick an Old 11 hero. I think Old 11 wins VICI games. And letting him suffer through so many bans seems unnecessary.
And they were the ones that banned out like 2 offlaners as well, so they're making their hero pool as well a bit smaller. The offlane hero pool right now is very, very small, considering the bans.
Looks like they're thinking really hard about who they're going to pick. They have to make this pick count.
Fighting through their reserve time a little bit. Yeah, they go with the TP. I like this a lot. It's a very good lane versus Void Spirit. That silence is scary later on. It's not necessarily the hero that I like versus Oracle. You don't have that backline reach from the mid lane.
But like you said, if JT is going to pick Timbersaw, it's kind of that magic damage that you need for Timbersaw, right?
Right, so I think they like inherently, indirectly ban the Timbersaw by picking this Death Prophet.
Mixed damage, really. And then you have Sunray, then you have Death Prophet Spirits later on. Siphon, the silence is nice, everything is...
Dire team pick!
They have ways of dealing with Timber, but... Okay, IG go with the Rubik instead.
Rubik! Big fan.
Are you?
I love Rubik.
What do you love about Rubik?
I play Rubik as a 5 or 6. It's just a lot of fun.
5 or 6?
Yeah.
It's a rough way to play
6 Rubik.
It's really hard, but it's a lot of fun. I just like
10 seconds remaining.
Steel is always satisfying.
Steal courier burst speed, deliver items across the...
That's the position 6 life.
Nice.
My MMR is like not great, but it's not that bad either. So what I do is when someone picks Bounty Hunter, I pick Rubik, and then I just steal the track and ruin their day.
Okay.
That's my favorite thing to do.
The other popular thing is against channeled spells. So here, like Shackles will be pretty easy, but if you ever see like an Enigma or a Crystal Maiden, you're like, oh.
Centaur Stomp.
Centaur
Stomp?
Stomps?
Stampede?
Yes.
Stampede.
No, Stampede. The stun.
The stun.
Oh,
it's instant.
If you can steal that, yeah. I mean, if you can steal that, you're a pretty damn good Rubik, though.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, he usually does use that after jumping in. But a small tip, Stampede is maybe a little bit better for your team, but Stomp is also pretty nice.
So, what do you think the Rubik was picked for? There are a lot of spells that Rubik can steal, but where does Rubik really shine in this lineup?
We have to wait and see what their offlaner is as well, because there are some matchups that are pretty good with Rubik, but mostly what Tsunami said, channeling spells, you have Shackles from did you see the 2-screen long Shackle?
Yes.
Yeah,
Dude,
there you go.
Once upon a time, Arcane Supremacy, I was just like, oh no, I want the status resistance back. Yep. And then I see 2-mile-long Shackles, and I'm like, never mind, this is actually pretty sweet.
Okay, Lycan. It's a throwback. It's something that they haven't really drafted in a while, at least not as often as at the beginning of the DPC League, but it looks sweet.
10
they have
remaining.
a lot of pushing potential.
Yeah, this is a hella push lineup from VICI right now.
But this is hella Timber once again, I believe, right? Like with maybe Underlord as well.
I think they're really like they're testing JT now. They're like, how much do you like this Timber? Because it's great against Lycan, but against the other stuff, I don't know how confident you are. And Lycan actually pretty garbage win rate right now. 0% Radiant, 33% Dire. So I don't really know if you need to worry about countering him out. I think
he used to be so strong, and he's still good versus these squishy position 5s and 4s, that backline position 5s and 4s, let's put it that way, that have no mobility. That's where Lycan shines, because he just sends his wolves at you and necros. You just die. That's it. You're an Oracle. What can you do when 5 creeps get on top of you? Like,
JT played a little bit of Bristleback and lead.
Also good possibility.
Ended up taking a Terror Blade.
Do you think that VICI game is trying to set the tempo of the game by picking some push-heavy heroes? You have Shadow Shaman's wards, you have DP Exorcism, and then Lycan doing Lycan.
10 seconds remaining.
100%. Also remember that Lycan in the Chinese league was played on offlane as well, a couple of times. Throughout all leagues, I've seen Lycan on. And you see that's the ban. The PL ban makes a lot of sense, because you can't be sure that the Lycan is actually position 1.
Yeah.
You have that Aghanims build. Basically, you just go Bootless Necro 3 into Aghanims. You bite your carry and he just goes ham.
Yeah, what were the good pairings? Because I remember Ricky being one of the pairings.
Troll, Jug, Ricky, all are pretty good. Troll is banned, Jug is still in the pool.
Jug's still good.
Yeah. Ursa is amazing, but I believe banned.
I don't think Ursa's been banned
Ursa's
yet.
Availability.
Actually not banned, yeah.
VICI continuing to ban out offlaners, so poor JT is going to have very little to work with.
10
Sand King also
remaining.
gets taken off the table.
Yeah, Tide would have been amazing.
Tide would have been amazing. That's why it's a really good ban from VICI.
In the last, in the DPC, it looks like JT played Mars, Tidehunter, Alchemist, Timbersaw, and Death Prophet, all of whom are banned or taken.
Yeah,
there are a couple picks between there, but those were the most.
I still like the Bristle if he plays Bristle in this situation. Oh, it's your boy Arc Warden.
Yeah, like we said before, Terrorblade or Medusa, if you have these heroes, you ban out the Arc. You just don't want to play against that. I'm not necessarily sure the synergy of VICI Gaming, if it would have been great with an Arc, because you have a lot of greed there. The Lycan,
10 seconds remaining.
No one to actually start fights. You would literally just throw yourself at them.
5
no
seconds
real
remaining.
stuns, right?
I guess if you're relying on Lycan going Aghanim Scepter and Wolf biting your carry, then you don't really need to go for a pushing carry, right?
That's true.
You can just go for like the Jug you said.
Jug Ursa sounds good. I mean, you obviously worry about Sunder. It is a problem, but eventually you get that BKB and you're an angry wolf anyway, just running at people.
What initiate does VICI Gaming really have right now, outside of maybe Shadow Shaman getting Blink?
That's the thing. They don't really care about starting fights. They're just going to post up your tower and be like, I mean, you can defend if you want to, but we have Exorcism, we have Wolves, we have Serpent Wards, and if you really want to start a fight, we'll have Supernova also.
Underlord for me was, again, the most obvious option for JT. Still, Timbersaw is in the pool, so... Is it a perfect Timber game?
remaining.
No, it's not, but it's pretty decent versus Lycan.
Yeah, but they won't even be laning against each other probably, though.
That's true. I mean, you're still a hero that can just stand in front of a tower and act like a wall. So
against this lineup of VICI?
With Oracle.
Oh, with Oracle, yeah, definitely. That's true.
So, yeah.
We're running out of time.
Still some 20-ish seconds
to
think about the offlane.
Putting my cards on Bristle.
I like the Bristle. I actually wouldn't mind it. I like the Bristle. I like the Timber. Legion's still in the pick.
Go Timber.
They go with the Timber. Yeah. Okay.
I think VICI's happy with that.
They don't really have any super reliable stuns on IG as well. Like you have the Lift, and you have later on Void Spirit just going ham. But
10 seconds remaining.
You don't have like a Rue that you have in the last game with Underlord or a big stun from a Lion.
I think VICI is like okay ignoring the Timber though. Like yeah, he can stand between two tiers of towers.
Choose your hero.
And the Jug,
and they get the Jug to Wolf Bite. So like they can have the Timbersaw standing around, but do they care? Because Timbersaw or Oracle can't push. VICI Gaming is going to be pushing towers on the other side of the map in the meanwhile. And
You can't really push period until Terrorblade is online.
Terrorblade's online, exactly. And so like VICI Gaming, like Sumi said, going to be setting the pace, as already seen from the first 3 picks. And as great as JT is on Timbersaw, he can only draw so much focus.
Yeah, you're a non-believer, Tsunami.
I'm a non-believer. you saw it in the DPC. I didn't get my eyeballs on it quite as much.
Yeah, so I actually agree with him. I don't think that Invictus Gaming out-drafted VICI Gaming by any stretch.
No, it's still a close draft.
Yeah, I think VICI Gaming have got what it takes to take this one. It's a much better odds than in the first game, I would say. I'm still going to favor IG just because of the past and all the games that I have seen historically. I don't necessarily think that they out-drafted VICI Gaming.
I'll go with VICI. I think that the Lycan Wolf Bite synergy with Juggernaut is going to be, at the minimum, it's going to be entertaining. I don't know if it's going to win or not, but it's going to be
sick.
It's going to be sick. It's going to be fun to watch, and we haven't seen many push drafts be shown up during like the first 4 days of this tournament. So I'm curious, is that still viable or not? So give me VICI.
I will also take VICI Gaming, putting Lizard once again in the spicy seat, because I think that the push strategy will really set the tempo for the game, and I don't know if other heroes will get online outside of stealing spells.
It's fine. I really like VICI Gaming's draft a lot as well, so we'll see.
Getting back on the fence, huh, Lizard?
Well, let's see how the drafts work out. We will take it to Game 2 of IG versus VICI Gaming. Take it away, Black and MLP Dota.
Thank you very much. We are back for game number 2 between IG and VICI Gaming. It is of course MLP and Black. 2 new drafts here between these two teams. I want to ask you straight off the bat, do you think VICI Gaming have the draft to take the game 2 off the side of IG?
I think I prefer that draft quite a bit over the one of IG. Like they have all the tools they need to. Do Timbersaw in the form of DP. Terrorblade shouldn't be a big problem. They have DP, Lycan, and 2 huge supports against him. Deal with him. And just overall, I think VG have a very good draft here. Like, I think they are going to take it.
30 seconds to battle.
Bring it to a game 3, hopefully, which we haven't seen any today.
We can only hope. The Necro book already.
It's going to be tough. Like,
naturally.
IG is such a good team, you know. Like, even though their draft doesn't look the best, they can still easily outplay VG here. And JT Timbersaw, man, that guy on that hero is probably the best Timber in China.
I'd have to agree with you on that, JT. One of his specialties. Because we'll see if they can slow down the push potential of VG Gaming this game. Because you kind of did mention it before we did come live. The DP Lycan does feel kind of broken right now in the current meta. The Necro book very strong as well on the Lycan pick. IG, I'm not sure if they have enough wave here to really deal with the amount of units that we kind of throw at them from VG Gaming this game.
Yeah, and Lycan is also dodging the Timbersaw lane, so Lycan will have a pretty good lane himself. It means like will come online very early, and just the support role of VG is really what swings to their favor. They have Shaman and TB, two heroes that are quite decent against Terrorblade. A hero that, of course, if you were just looking at the carry matchup, you know, Juggernaut loses to TB quite hard, but because of the supports, it's going to be quite easy for him to
PYW might be in trouble bot lane.
Fine.
He gets away, be able to sell. Action going on across all sides of the map, even top lane, as you can see. A bit of a battle going on. JT, he did cop the spin, but he's going to be able to walk away from it. Living up the level 1 chains just to make sure he doesn't get caught out early on. Speaking of this lane, I doubt VG can do really much to slow down JT, at least in the laning phase.
Yeah, JT will easily get to level 3, and then they have no chance of really hurting him in this lane anymore, I'd say. So, I agree. Like, should have a free farm here, and then with that free farm, he can cause a lot of problems in those teams, especially against that Lycan pro.
Chains in, Poyo. He's going to go for a spin now. Icarus dive. Fire Spirit's not going to be quite enough. JT really playing on the edge, just trying to secure every CS he can. Definitely has to be a bit more cautious, I think, but now he'll salve up, he'll be right. What's the mid lane matchup? Like, tell me about this one. The Void Spirit versus the DP. It feels like the DP
right now is doing very well for himself, but the reality is that the higher the levels go, the stronger DP is in this lane. Spirit Siphon level 2, level 3 is just too much for Void Spirit to handle. And then level 6, you know, Exorcism can just result in a very quick and easy kill. Or potentially even a tower push if Void Spirit chooses to gank another lane himself. Matchup is always has been a DP favorite, but
definitely a very good Void Spirit. Still right-clicking away onto Ori, even with the Spirit Siphon going on. A bot lane, as you can see, you'll see the Lycan there up against the Terrorblade on Flyfly, PYW and Ollie. We kind of talked about this earlier on. It does seem like Flyfly is having a decent enough time right now. I guess as the Lycan, you're just trying to make sure you can secure your own Necro book first before you really get active. It's not really so much trying to slow down Flyfly.
Radiant's courier was caught in the crossfire.
Radiant's courier has been slain.
On. Flyfly going to intercept this large camp. Pops the meta. He wants to try and go into PYW. Fortune's End is going to be there. PYW extremely low and does go down. A great start for IG. Old 11 trying to run Ollie. He does have Fortune's End back up in 1 second, and he has a mango for the mana. Salve up, Old 11, still getting away with this, but eventually they are going to run right into him, and Ollie, I'm sure he'll just start channeling it up. Old 11, he's going to try and trade, but there is no chance in hell. He's going to go down on Flyfly, will walk away with a double. That PYW, right back in. Ollie.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Forget this.
Yeah, I mean, you're really seeing the comparisons between the position ones right now. Poyo definitely not having as free of a game, but now he'll go for the spinner. JT has overextended. Poyo, very nice spin. Bottom. And right onto PYW, and they do get the kill. Ollie will take it with the level 2 Purifying Flames. So something you brought up earlier.
A bubble from the void.
That should help you.
That was something you were talking about earlier on as well, right? Like, you'd rather see Emo making those rotations rather than trying to just stick around and contest the death bomb. They will.
The Dire have reinforced
Keep
their
that Sea Creep alive. Nice glyph there from VICI Gaming. Got. They can get the initiation though. For now, Ori's sitting back quite nicely and not really getting out of position.
Structures are fortified.
Like IG, they're going to try and wrap around.
Is under attack.
I'll be at a pretty big amount of chip damage, but nothing too much to worry about. Top lane, bit of a spin from Poyo, not going to lead so much, but mid lane, they jump right back in. After that DP, Spirit Siphon's keeping him alive. Ori, can he really make his way out? He's still surviving, but surely not for long. They will get the kill. Emo now moving in for even more with that Arcane Rune active, but he misses the Aether Remnant. DY is going to be able to survive thanks to that, but he does have an Astral Step back up. Not reinitiate. He might be in danger on lift up. They do catch out the junk. He'll commit the Omni. He's going to try and get lucky for Kaka. He's eventually going to die, but Poyo has to give his life away for that. And I suppose that was the best kind of circumstance he could have asked for, just getting the kill, but it's still not going to feel great for VICI. Bottom.
Dire's top tower is
Going to try and chase down Ollie. Should be a nice easy pick off here as they do have the shackles, and of course when the wolf is there, it's very hard to get away. He'll try to delay it, but it is inevitable. Over 11 does take a kill for himself. Meanwhile, top.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
People down, a smoke up from Kaka and Emo. Beat down from Ollie. Even just trying to bait them in. PYW, he was thinking about it. Kaka, Emo. They've got it. Old 11, he's trapped up and he's gone.
Radiant's bottom tower
Really
is
just
under
that
attack.
easy. Once you have the setup from the Fortune's End.
Under attack.
Emo again, he just makes so much work happen across the map when he makes these rotations.
Thank you. I shall reconsider your work.
Invisibility.
He's always been a very calculated player, right? Like, I remember a few years back watching him on the Invoker mid, and we always used to be kind of amazed at how well he would do on any hero he played in the mid lane, and it's great to see Emo back in the spotlight, because he's a very talented man.
Middle tower is under attack.
pretty dominant for sure. 10-minute bounty rune's gonna spawn up. PYW gonna try and contest. They've got the Hex out and the Shackles. This might be great, but the false promise immediately there by Ollie. He's gonna try and TP away and save his own life, but cannot do so. Old 11, he'll keep chasing down Emo. Just fine to get away.
Dire's tower is under attack.
Do you miss the intense passion? Best teams in the world. Powerful emotions. Epic fights. Stunning rivalries. It's time for the biggest comeback. Singapore. This March. Black Major Dota is coming back.
It's hard for JT. It's a lot of heroes to think about. They get the Hex off. PYW again with the Shackles in time. They'll get the kill.
Yes! Do you miss the intent?
Back at
a very good timing here. He's gonna have St. Josh at like minute 13, which is very fast, but also Juggernaut almost has his battle field. He said he found himself. Another like 1,400 gold.
Emo still playing with fire in that mid lane. Not really worried about Poyo whatsoever.
I think it's only at this point PYW is the only threat to him, really. Like, if he gets hexed and shackled, that's how he dies, or if he overcommits himself. But he's not really scared of any of the other 4 heroes. As long as he sees Shadow Shaman in another lane, he can...
VICI now being a bit sneaky. Double damage rune gonna be taken by Ori.
Note up in 5.
Dire's bottom tower is
they want to
under
converge
attack.
on this mid tower. They don't have Exorcism though. Phoenix X is available, however. Still have a very dominant team fight here.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
Potentially, or maybe not.
Illusion.
If we want something with this Necro at 3, but Old 11 might have to wait till it's back off cooldown. 25 seconds for that. Of course, IG more than happy to play this farm game with his Terrorblade, and you can see Fly with his network. He's getting a bit too far ahead. You might make the argument that once the battle crew is there on the jug, it'll be a different story, but it feels like the Terrorblade, just with these inbuilt illusions, is always going to be able to keep up in farm.
And farm much more safely also, most importantly. Like, it feels really bad to just having to go to lane to push out.
Hit AT.
Here, Exorcism popped again.
So much control now from PYW. False promises there in time, but again the Shackles, and now Ollie is get picked. JT, does he have enough fuel to survive? It's been a lot of damage being pumped out, but he is alive for now. Still the chase continues. He'll train TP. Does he make it out? No, the heals is there from Ori. Get it in time. JT, he's gone. Another great kill there from VICI Gaming.
All of the big ults committed though. See if they can get the mid tower off this. If they can't, would be a pretty big point here for VG. They used so much resources here, but they should be able to get it quite easily. First, still dead for 15. Terrorblade doesn't feel confronted, and they dropped the wards as well to secure the 100%. Alright.
Emo jumps in, heads. Immediately, PYW wants to turn around. Emo getting very low, but he'll simulate out. Egg's going to be committed. They really want this mid-tier 1. They'll get it. That's enough for VICI Gaming. They are right out afterwards.
Fought out of Metamorphosis. And it was all without Juggernaut. He was just farming bottom. It was a 4v5 fight. Take the tower, take 2 heroes, lose nothing. 2k gold lead, turn into an even game.
Fly now, he's going to try and trade with the meta, trying to get some value out of it. VICI, can they defend this? They've used so many spells already. Frontline and tank for tier 1. I don't think they can stop this from happening.
Middle tower has fallen.
Still, very good aggressive posture here by IG, recognizing that they don't have ultimates, they can't fight them right now. Trading the mid towers is very important for them, because it opens up their own map as well. Still this Juggernaut, they have no ability that goes through spin TP. He can play as cocky as possible, pretty much. They have no setup. Gonna have a real tough time killing this Juggernaut here. He finishes Metal Fury, he's gonna get very rich very soon.
Gonna go into the SNY straight after Poyo.
They're just too good. Like SNY on Juggernaut amplifies the healing more for 25%. It's just too much value. Much better than the Manta style.
Absolutely. Bot lane. Sunray. Trying to catch on Emo again. He should be safe. He's safe. TP right out. DY. No way to cancel it.
Edge went Spirit Vessel again this game. Not a big fan of Spirit Vessel on Void Spirit this game. Simply because DP already has a Yule Scepter and doesn't do anything against Juggernaut and Lycan. I feel like maybe Yule Scepter for himself against the silences coming out, you know? Potentially be a better choice. We'll have to see if we can make it work though.
VT. Just pressure out Poyo. Poyo is going to leave the area. Meanwhile, VICI Gaming, though, they're going to push down the bot, P2 tower. And with this draft, this is something you can do so darn easily. Just force IG to try and defend every single time. And it looks like IG's not interested. They're going to just go.
And Juggernaut can just really push out top. They can't catch him. So he could just potentially cut away, you know, things get a bit dicey, just spin TP out, and he's doing exactly that.
See,
such a good play by Poyo, making sure there's no trade potential.
Cool, great for IG.
Still a catapult alive though, 100 health, and Timber is a hero that can't take these kind of towers because he can tank it all by himself. We'll have to see if he wants to respond to this. They still have Exorcism up, Omni Slash as well. There's pretty much everything. They're going to be mustering up defense here.
Dire's top tower is
trying. They've smoked up the mid lane. They'll make their way through the giant jungle. The P2's already gone.
So scary.
Dire's top tower has
Killing the backline.
Ollie, this is not what he wants. The Hex is down immediately. PYW again just locking down one, and now Poyo runs right in, but everyone's just TPing away. They lock down at least JT. Not quite. So they get the Oracle kill, but that's about it. For IG, you'd still be pretty happy with that.
Yeah, it was a bit too slow for VG. Like if they're there 5 seconds earlier when the towers hit up, they're gonna get a much better fight for them and probably a lot more kills as well. Good recognition of IG just sacrificing the Oracle to peeing out ASAP. Cut their losses very nicely here.
Radiant's top
the T1. Top tower. It might just get a free one here for VG. Very quick course.
He's actually going into the Manta style still on Juggernaut, okay. Makes sense against Terrorblade and Oracle, I suppose. A lot of spells. They got a promotion to the level 2 Exorcism. Of course, Phoenix Egg around this area, also very deadly.
Smoked.
I don't think Terrorblade can reach time.
They're going to try. They're running in, but they've got to make the jump in ASAP. That Roshan getting very low. Still not there. It's still up for a second, but it's not quick enough. IG. It's too much of hesitation. They're going to go in anyway, right onto the DP, trying to kill Ori off with the 8th Remnant. It's not going to be enough yet. He'll survive for another day. Emo and JT, the wants to drop and now Fly. Needs to find a way out. He's going to sunder and turn right back around, but they've got the Hex, they've got the Surfboard, they've got the egg, and they've got the control, so Poyo can just hit away, and we'll be able to kill off the TB. Onto Ollie. Nice dead Oracle. VICI Gaming, that was a great team fight. And on top of all that, they still have the agents.
It was just completely one-sided fight. That's what we spoke about at the beginning. Like this team fight prowess of this Dire lineup could potentially be too much for IG to handle, you know? They have this Timber Saw, who doesn't really feel like he has a great purpose this game. He's playing against pretty hard counters. We can just see it here, how fast he melts. They go on top of him, he just dies instantly. They're trying to burst the DP. They almost manage to, if they can. Emo probably win this team fight a little bit, but
Radiant's courier was caught in the crossfire.
Very close initiation there.
Long range hack.
They're running right in. Old 11 just rushing in through the mid lane. VICI is there. They have the control again with the shackles. Terror Wave is not there in time. It's PYW. Every single team fight. This Shaman just catches the right target. It makes it impossible to counter-initiate.
PYW is also such a stand-up player. Like this season in the DPC, I have seen so many rising stars in the Chinese region. PYW, definitely one of them. A magnificent job this game. And we can really see the lack of any sort of dispel on the Void Spirit biting him in his butt. You know, like he has no Yules to save him. He's silenced. He just dies. Right? This Spirit Vessel has not paid off yet at all.
And it hasn't. Trying to farm up the Yules now on the Void Spirit, but it's going to be a bit of time.
Might be a little too late, because now the whole map control pretty much is going to be in his favor. Juggernaut is getting very, very strong. He's going to go into the Aghanim Scepter next. And after Aghanims, you get one more damage item, is really when you're like this super scary Juggernaut. You know, one Swift Slash kills the support, one Omni Slash kills even the Terrorblade. You have to be very wary here. They need to somehow start pressuring the map a little bit. Getting too much out of it right now on the VG side.
Radiant's middle
from
tower
IG
is
in the
under
river.
attack.
Bit of a smoke.
Everything available in 5 seconds. They're trying to make a move. It's just
under attack.
DP might actually be getting caught out of position here.
The amazing for IG.
For the range creep, for the camp movement.
Yeah, he blinks right in with the lift. Now the Terror Wave, they are playing no games. They just want him dead, but he gets the Yules off in time. He should be able to heal a little bit. No, not even close. Damage from Fly, a little bit too high for TP, but mid lane, who will they jump? It's going to be JT. They kind of just even it out then.
Yeah, all of a sudden this trade doesn't feel so good anymore. Sure, you kill the DP, also lose your Timber, so a pretty even trade. VG, not the happiest with it, of course, but still making the best out of the situation. And that's why the Terrorblade Axe sometimes can be really good, you know? Just a little pick off, you use it, 90 seconds cooldown. You don't have to expend the Metamorphosis.
Playing. Gaming. Go in, IG, Firefly, he's going to get started right up to ult 11. Ult 11 already dead, but now the surfboards are down. False promise immediately onto Fly. They're going to make sure he lives through this team fight. The egg is going to go down just in the nick of time. Poyo, he got a full Omni Slash off on the Terrorblade anyway. So get the kill in the end. PYW, he's going to be fine to TP out. Emo could not finish off the job. It's still really not too bad for VICI Gaming because they got the Pos 1 TB.
Exactly, like if they didn't kill that TB, it would have looked quite good for IG here, but they're losing their biggest, most important hero repeatedly. It just doesn't feel good to be Terrorblade right now, you know? Having too many problems to deal with at the point. Age is still around for about 40 seconds, so they won't be able to pressure any more objectives than that. Game is looking very good.
Certainly is. You think they could keep this up though?
For VG, sorry, did I say IG?
You may.
Possibly. You know, I'm not the smartest guy.
No, neither am I. I think we're very similar. We're both idiots. We're both old now. You know, we can be forgiven.
Old can be depressing thoughts sometimes, but you know, all the experience you gather throughout life, happy to share it with other people, you know. That's why I'm here, making life of others so much more joyful, hopefully. Big smoke up here by VG. PYW will be the driving force here. Oh, nice spin reaction by Kaka. Picking up, finding one. Yules Scepter though, two Hex. Oh, good stun by Kaka again. Completely diffusing the situation here.
Good stuff. ID still holding on, definitely not out of this game yet, but there is going to be a 4k net worth lead for VICI Gaming. They'll just continue to just try and escalate by getting Poyo that Aghanim Scepter. In fact, I believe the courier does have it coming out now.
Does. Juggernaut is getting a little scary. He's still lacking a little bit in the damage department though. So the next item for him is really gonna be, you know, the game-changing item. The one that really allows him to deal a lot of damage. Choosing to go into the shard first. Free Basher, not something we always... It's one of the better shots in the game, so please stand still. And JT just says bye-bye.
DP's right out in front of his face. But it still favors Poyo, like being able to free farm like this. In fact, yeah, I'd say he's just having a great time. Like even if the Terrorblade's gonna be pretty strong in the late game up against the Jug, you're not too concerned. There's upside, Emo has been caught. Exorcism is there. Yules set up. PYW again has the Hex up. No. Late is there in time. Emo, he's gonna make it out.
Yeah, Kaka there saving his life, interrupting the shackles. Well done by him, just to save the core. And the thing with Juggernaut is, right? Like the matchup on paper seems bad, but when you're 18, hold that thought, potentially a fight here for you running onto the high ground.
I'm gonna try. Sunray getting started immediately on the JT. Flying fly, that's the target they want. Poyo immediately into the Omni. False promise is there to save the day again. Poyo now needs to run away to Sunder. Does come out, and Poyo, he's gone too far. The egg now has been committed, but they should be able to burst it down in time, and no, deep fly. Just had enough. They'll turn back around now to fly. Without the BKB, they'll burn him down. Back on a JT. He'll make it out, but they do at least trade the position once.
They were feeling themselves a little bit too much. I feel like you get a Juggernaut kill, just be happy with that, go out. They try to kill the Phoenix Nova. It goes off. Terrorblade dies in the trade, which then again turns this fight into an even trade, you know? Not something they really need on IG. They need a little bit better than that. Better fights, better trades. They're just not finding them. VICI is playing very solid Dota here right now.
Saw the amount of damage at older level was doing an emo in that mid lane. Very painful
the Necro Warriors plus the Howl. -8 armor and the Howl is just too much to handle for a hero like One Spirit. What I was saying with the Juggernaut, you know, like he is just an anti-carry or anti-core in the late game. Like even a Medusa 6-slotted will die in one Omni Slash to a 6-slotted Juggernaut. Omni Slash is just too terrifying in the late game. Even a TB will die.
Love me a good Omni.
Good Omni is all we need sometimes.
I wonder as well, Black, a lot of people have been talking about this Necro book being a little bit too broken in the current meta. How would you nerf it if you were the one in charge?
That's a good question. Let me think about it. I'll get back to you in a minute.
Roshan.
They started this Roshan here. If IG this time wants to contest it, it's dropping very fast. They're not ready yet.
No, it's a lot of damage. Roshan just dropping too dark quick. IG, they're going to spot it out now, but it might be too late. Fly, he moves in with the tearaway. Poyo did have to spin out in time.
They have Exorcism up as well. He's going to be very strong here. Exorcism up.
IG is there. Old Levin's going to back on JP. They want the Simba first, but he's going to chain out. Roshan still out of the pit, but again, very, very low. Poyo trying to finish this time, and he's going to be able to get it. Aegis picked up by the jump.
Exorcism stolen by Rubik.
They'd love to go for a fight. VICI, regardless of that Exorcism, it seems like they wanted to, but perhaps not willing to go into the high ground. VICI Gaming, they walk away with the Aegis. I'm sure they're very happy about that.
Yep, Aegis cheese, another free Roshan. Lose nothing in trade. Definitely very, another good event here for VICI Gaming. IG just can't really catch a break in this game. Nothing is really ever working out for them, you know? Like they get a kill on the Jug, lose their TB in turn, which is always a little bit behind here.
VICI, they'll just sit back and start farming those next core items. Poyo already queuing up that Eye of Skadi. Fly doing the exact same thing, trying to pick up his own Eye of Skadi, but you kind of ask the question, is that going to resolve the issues they're having? It doesn't really feel like it. Not yet.
At least Skadi is really good against Juggernaut as well as DP to reduce that healing a little bit. Another smoke up here. They know there's no Exorcism up and no Like Nova.
Dire's middle tower
to look
is
for a good
under
fight
attack.
here. They have to be careful though. This Juggernaut has so much damage potential at this point.
More down. See Poyo running away. They're going to go into the triangle instead, it looks like.
Poyo is not really the target they can initiate on though. They have to be so careful if they initiate on this Juggernaut. Best case scenario, they kill the Shadow Shaman or the Phoenix.
Still see the Jug. I do agree though, it might be a very dangerous target to try and go on an idea. They're not going to get the opportunity. VICI now might try to take a fight themselves. Stop wrapping around through the river. It looks like they just wanted one pick off there. They're not going to be able to find it. So neither team really getting into a fight. They'll just avoid each other. I think for IG, you've got to be so careful fighting into a Jug Aegis. You don't really have the capability for two lines right now.
Problem is Terrorblade at this age doesn't deal any damage. Like, he can't kill the DP, which is too tanky. Like, he went for Agathon, St. Joshua, BKB, 0 damage items. Just a lot of net worth that doesn't really result in
Radiant's middle tower has
being
fallen.
able to carry the game. That's why I'm not really a big fan of this Aggro Scepter on Terrorblade. It's a big investment for not a whole lot of damage. You get 10 damage, 10 attack speed, that's it, for 4.2k gold.
Can be costly.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
He's kind of like the only damage that they have at this point.
Dire locked
Like
down
Hero
their
and
structures.
JT are more there to like distract and annoy the backline.
Radiant's
But
top
ultimately
tower
the
is
Terrorblade
under
will have to
attack.
kill the DP, to kill the Juggernaut, and the Lightning as well. With his current
Dire's
item,
bottom tower is under
VICI say screw it, they're going right high ground. What's going to be dropped to T3 tower? It's a fast tower.
He's gone already.
You know, again, Karkar, he's not his own exit. Looks like on the Rubik, they do jump in. Sunray out onto JT, that's a lot of damage to the switch line for Poyo. He's holding on to Big Omni. Now he does commit blind by takes all the damage. He'll get the Thunder in time. Onto JT and the false promise. He's there to save the day, but Ollie does die for it. Gonna get the rats. Now Ori to move in with the Shivers Guard. Back onto the Timber. In fact, they want Emo. But Poyo not gonna oversee the problem of the buyback. What's there from Ollie? In fact, they go right back in, they'll get the Aegis. They get it a second time. They lock him down. Styles is there. He'll man through it off. Poyo's still trying to fight, but it looks like he has been left behind. VICI perhaps not feeling like they can save him. He'll try to spin and just run away, but Emo is on his case. Hex out from Karkar. Again on the roof, but now the Wolf Fight is out from 11, allowing him to just run away on the junk. Meanwhile, Cheese being ate by the DP, and nobody's dying quite yet on VICI. They are all around. Tackle out, spins there, Poyo with the wolf form, and take down Karkar onto JT.
I've never seen a spinning wolf before. That looks silly.
This Aghanim Scepter on the line, it does get kind of ridiculous how many bonuses it gives you on the jug.
It does.
Poyo's gonna enjoy that, I'm sure.
Oh, certainly. It just gives you an extra chance to crit as well. He now finishes a Skadi. And the lack of damage is very apparent, unfortunately. He will need another damage item before the next fight starts. He has a Crystallis now. Hopefully he will finish the Deso or the Daedalus relatively soon, because VG, I think, they're very happy to just wait for Exorcism and just go for another side.
Here we go again.
Angry Wolf, man. Spinning wolf. It just actually looks silly.
It's crazy. He's gonna sit back again, try and find their opportunity. Fly. Got the Crystallis up. He wants to try and go for that Ice Guardian. Probably just wait that out a bit.
I would love it if he just foregoes the Skadi and goes all in the damage department. Just Daedalus, possibly an MKB after that. Because at this point, you're the only damage dealer of your team. You have an Oracle to back you up. You don't need that additional survivability. You just need to be able to kill them. Oh, Axe actually popped. There was a little illusion play here by the Death Prophet, I believe. Fly a little bit trigger happy, you know? Like, oh! Ah, never mind, guys. Just a little bit.
It's alright, we all do it. Sure, you've done it many times, Black.
It's also a very high pressure situation here for this Terrorblade.
Naturally, he can't really get picked off and...
Oh, so scary now. Shadow Shaman finished a BKB. If he ever gets the lockdown onto the Terrorblade with this BKB, there's absolutely nothing that IG can do to save him.
That is indeed very, very scary, and it's a long duration, the Shackles. There really isn't much. I mean, you've got the false promise, but that's it.
That's
if
all.
that fails...
If you get caught out of BKB, you just stand there shackled for a good 5 seconds, you get hexed again. Terrorblade could potentially be rendered very useless by the Shadow Shaman here.
VG smoking up through the mid lane. They'll find an Invis rune.
I amplify my impact.
Gonna get it. I would give it to the Shadow Shaman. Or maybe they just want to bait. Okay, DP takes it. Come on, DP. Sharing is caring.
It's all about the cause, Black. All about the cause.
All about the cause, yeah. Well, I'm a cause, so I don't complain about it.
VG. They'll invade the Radiant jungle now. Just getting some D-wards out.
Counter smoke.
They're going to jump in on Evo right here. Who they caught out? It's going to be the Lycan all 11 already gone. Now they could definitely fight. But of course, VG are on the retreat. They will have none of it.
Very scary tool here also by the Rubik. He stole the shackles. We all have seen those Reddit clips of the full screen shackles with that cast range Talon in the Etherlands. He also has a psychic headband. I actually want to see that ridiculous range on the shackles.
Find out soon. I'm sure Kaka will find his opportunity to throw it
out soon though.
Dire's middle tower is under attack. That should help.
I want the shackle creep at least.
Kaka. The shackle creep. Let's see it.
I don't.
He's a man of discipline. He's a man of discipline, Black. He's not like us. He doesn't waste his mana.
Yeah, just to like kind of see what happens, you know? Like I do that so many times when I think there's no fight happening. Yeah, I'm gonna shackle the creep for fun.
VG.
Finish Skadi terribly. I mean, Skadi is kind of like a hybrid item. Like, sure, it gives us some stats as damage, but really the big point of it is the decreased healing for both the Juggernaut as well as DP. Still, you know, I can still stomach the item. I would still have loved to see Edelus over it, but once you get both items up, there's a lot of damage potential here for the Terrorblade.
Slowly but surely, they're going to try and make their way back. It's a 14k net worth lead for VICI.
Double damage down there.
Tower is under attack.
Oh, he doesn't even give it to the Juggernaut. Ori, he's like, I'm taking everything today. Maybe it's his birthday, you know? A bit greedy here.
Ori. He wants to feel like the carry for a second, Black. Leave the man alone. You know, the junk doesn't
I'm leaving
need
him alone. Just, double damage Juggernaut at this stage is pretty damn scary.
See if they regret it now. They're going to move in. ID, they have the hunt. Ground for you. Terror Wave going to connect. They get the silence. Look at the damage output. Oh my goodness. Alright, maybe it wasn't worth taking the double damage rune. PYW is going to try and run. The buyback on the line. Old Lemon coming back to the team fight. Egg is down. JT, where are you going, sir? He's just taking all the damage for his team. They're going to focus him, but now they head to down. PYW, he does get the TV flying time. Getting low, and the shackles. Is there in time? The buyback is immediate. Fly. He wants to rejoin this team fight. Emo still being chased down. Double wolves chasing this poor Void Spirit. Will he be able to get himself out? They know he's there. He's up. Got no steps left. We're fighting heals again. He's gone.
Answer's no. Now Terrorblade bought back, no meta, and no axe either.
Don't worry, he just bought back as well. He'll get a tieback. 11 now, he also fought back. He can't afford to die back like this. He'll flash through Puyo. He doesn't have the Omni, so he doesn't be slightly cautious. He'll chase down Ori instead. The JP trying to find a target. Goes all Ollie onto PYW. They'll get the Shaman. Firefly gets the Sunder on. Back in the junk. Another buyback now from PYW. Back in the team fight for him. Hex out. They've got the junk, but they don't have the damage output without the meta. That's going to be enough. Who came out on top
both
there?
Sides here.
Radiant's bottom tower is
I would
under
still
attack.
say favors IG Gaming quite a bit here. We can see this Terrorblade, now with this damage item, actually just carrying through this DP relatively easily. Like, DP did not look tanky at all. Got blown up in like a second. It's gonna be scary here though. No meta for a minute, they're moving through the Roche pit. And no buyback on Void Spirit as well as Oracle. I don't think they will be able to fight this Roshan. Maybe there's a cute play where you can steal Roshan with the Carol form, but it's so risky. If he gets picked off here, it's game over for IG.
Well, off that Terror Wave for sure, but Emo is going to respawn, and it looks like VICI Gaming, they're not going to feel completely confident moving into that Roshan. Back off and start farming those tier 4 items.
They have 30 seconds with DP's down, they know this, but they're moving for the Roshan instead.
IG, can they get it done in time? Old 11, he's watching, the smoke has been broken. Now Sun ready to get vision. Emo, he's trying his best with the wolf form. All around, who they aim? Quick slash, JT, give me 5 for now. They go into the back line, they found Kaka. Aeon just will save for a little bit, the PYW was there with the shackles. Terror Wave, fly.
Good angle on
Kaka, he is not dead yet. The egg, it does explode. He's still being focused down by Koyo. They don't have the damage output. Back on the fly.
Nice
they have the ulti, but the motor sword is going to save the day for Fly, and now they can turn back around onto the jump. Puyo, he's out of there. Old 11, he's not going to be so lucky. He will try. See why. He has the cheese. He will need it. It may not matter. He does have an Aegis as well. He should be able to respawn, and he will with Fly. He's trying to man fight. Emo, he's back in. Puyo goes down the jump. He'll buy back. by now. He's got no way out. Surely he's gonna die as well. But Ori, he got the TB.
Ori's dying too.
At the cost of his own life, Koyo comes back in. I guess he can go after JT now. They should be able to get him. JT is trying to change TB, but PYW is right on top of him. And again, another massive team fight. VICI Gaming, it seems like they may have come out on top.
That should help. However, there is buyback on Void Crew and Timbersaw. TB, of course, no buyback. He died again, so his network is dwindling a little bit. But also Juggernaut has a buyback as well. If they can mount defense here, they might potentially have to buyback on the Void Spirit. Have to be careful on Juggernaut. 2 heroes are dead. If he dies here, it's game over for VICI Gaming. So careful here.
On the line, Koyo move forward. Nothing really to catch him out. Apart from Kaka, but you haven't got the damage right now to kill off this junk. Not without your TB.
Let's go.
I mean, why not?
Why the hell not? Here again. Terrorblade is dealing a ton of damage under this false promise. Gets taken out eventually, but damage was already done. DP dying to a reflection as well. Ultimately, VICI Gaming still cleans up the fight, but there was on the back of a lot of fighting. VICI Gaming.
You kind of question whether it's going to come back to haunt them.
Game is looking a lot more even now again. Even though the network says 10k, at minute 40, 10k is not that much. Terrorblade deals a ton of damage right now. Queuing up the rape here. Once he has that, he's gonna kill heroes in a matter of seconds.
Love me a Divine Rapier. VICI Gaming, they don't want to wait that long.
Yeah, I know. Doesn't always happen, unfortunately.
His way up with the hit. They got the Hex out with the Serpent Wards. It's tanky. Should be able to hold long enough for Firefly to be back in this time fight. Koyo still going very confidently on this jug, but eventually will decide better of it.
No buyback. Like, they're playing like they had 20k, have 8 shield right now. They're just standing there, waiting for them to come.
So IG, just 1 Rex down still, 2 T3 towers, but once that Divine Rapier's out, you kind of start to favor Fly, right? If it comes out.
Yeah, although it's still scary, you know, like False Promise is usually saving him so he can deal a lot of damage, but he always ends up dying after the False Promise because he doesn't have life reach. So even if he buys Rapier, he might be able to kill VG, but if you drop afterwards and drop your Rapier, you know, it can still be a very risky affair. I don't think there's been a single team fight where Terrorblade actually lived after the False Promise. They just can't pump enough heal onto him.
Ollie's being focused down by Old 11 every single team fight. He's just kind of rushing to get the False Promise out before he dies. All he can do.
Really cute. If you could steal Healing Ward on Rubik here and combo with a False Promise, I think they could keep pretty much anyone. He actually has Healing Ward right now. So False Promise plus Healing Ward could be very deadly here for VG if they don't sniff it out immediately.
It can be hard to tell in the middle of a team fight. Sometimes you just kind of forget maybe it's our own Jug's Healing Ward.
Guys, it's our Healing Ward, don't worry. Terrorblade suddenly back to full health. Oh god, guys. Not a big smoke up. Be looking for here. What can they find? Here without buyback would be a really good find, like JT. And JT is the one moving in. Right into all 5 heroes. Forward. Careful.
Saul was there. VICI, they'll move down bot instead. Have everything up again. They drop the ward. Edrock is not going to be popped yet.
He does have Arcane Moon right now on DP2. So probably
they're going after. It's going to be JT, but the Terror Wave is committed already. What's in the back? DP, Emo jumping in with the BKB. Swift Flash is down. Emo's still alive. We'll turn right back around to the base and a pause.
And a team fight? Oh no! Alright, what's the situation here? Talon lagging a little bit. DP does not have Aeon Disc anymore. Potentially a lot of danger for her. Just be very careful with her positioning here. Terrorblade, Metamorphosis is still online.
Like, Scandal move right in. False Promise is there in time, but it's not going to save JT, or maybe it will. Evo, still alive. Fly, going to try to fly back to get the egg down. But there's just so much damage being done by VICI Gaming. It's only no buyback. They'll find the fourth. There is no buybacks left, and VICI will be able to force to game 3.
We were hyping it up so much. Oh, game's back. Dire victory! And like this, it was like not what I expected at all. DP just DP plus Omnislash just killing all of them so damn fast. And of course, you know, Rubik gave us the treat at the end. He gave us the long range check.
That's all we wanted to see before the game ended. If anything, though, before we get into game 3, Black, what do you think it was that VICI time in comparison to game 1 that forced this to a game 3 in the first place?
It was really just a mid-game aggression. Like, it always felt like in the early game, IG was a little bit faster in terms of movement, but then in the mid-game, VG turned it around and just outplayed IG here. And we'll get to hear what the panel has to say about this game, because I think a lot of people thought IG would be, you know, taking it 2-0.
Well, let's head over.
Thank you very much, Black and MLP. Oh, it's 1-1 now, guys. I think that VICI Gaming must have heard you, Lizard, because you said they need to take control of the game, and that they did with their intense push comp.
Yeah, it looked much, much better. I liked their draft. I really did quite a lot. I just didn't know if they had what it takes to beat IG, because I've watched this matchup a couple of times. Didn't look that great for VICI Gaming. However, this time around, once again, the unsung hero, or the sung hero of the story, Old 11, with the Lycan just being able to hunt down those supports. PYW, actually the whole team put in an effort, but PYW with the Shadow Shaman was on point, and also Phoenix, without doing a lot, just by pressing that egg, would force Terrorblade to stand in spot and hit it, because no one else can actually do it.
And in turn, that makes life so difficult for Oracle also, because Oracle's like, bro, I can't get that close, man.
He can't get that close. BKB runs out while he's hitting the egg, so after you do kill the egg, you're kind of vulnerable, and that Juggernaut gets on top of you. Same goes with the Shadow Shaman, so by killing the egg, you're actually losing your own team fight. So just very well performed by VICI Gaming.
Yeah, and sung or unsung, JT's Timbersaw, I had my reservations in the draft, and VICI Gaming seemed prepared for it, and it didn't really prove to be a factor in this game.
Yep, it was a very difficult game for him. That's completely right. He still did pressure in the laning stage. Yeah,
I love this anime-ass fight. So many people were like, oh, there are 3 streams going on at the same time. I'm missing all these great games. We're just getting started. The playoffs have just begun. The great Dota, we have many more days left ahead of us. And this is just the beginning.
I can't believe the wards killed Roche.
Yeah, I know.
So just walked in and picked it up.
Phoenix picks up the Aegis. Terrorblade, again, like, is forced so deep into a fight, and as like Oracle, I saw with his levels, he was like level 14 when everyone else was like level 18 and 25 or whatever, because he just was never able to have comfortable positioning.
Yeah, just not an easy game for any single one of these heroes on the side of IG.
Yeah.
Void Spirit, actually Emo did really, really well in the mid lane in a matchup that's not good for him. That Prophet should do much better in my opinion, which kind of shows the
skill
power rankings between these two players. The Life of Supports is also really not easy versus the Lycan and all the summons that he sends at them. The life of the Timbersaw is also threatened by Dead Prophet and Sunray and whatnot, and you could see it throughout the game. And then in the end you have this wolf spinning around you.
Yeah.
And Omni slashing you.
That Jug wolf bite form was amazing. I'm a believer. You had mentioned that like whenever the Lycan was picked in the draft, you're like, oh, there's no guarantees that it'll be safe lane. You might be picking up a off-lane Aghanim Scepter, and after that Necro 3,
AC and
AC, yeah, that's true. So they left it for quite a while, but once that came online, that really secured the late game for this Juggernaut.
And 16-3-11, Poyoyo, Erika, Juggernaut. Pretty good. I'd still give the MVP to Old 11, but yeah.
Why would you give it to Old 11?
Jug in the mid game was a little bit shaky. And there we go. 11 gets it. He was biting people properly. He was running down the supports when he needed to. And he actually brought them back into the game in the mid-game.
Yeah,
Pretty much he was the only one not getting picked off and killed.
He got picked off at one point, but like anytime that his wolves are also providing like so much vision. He was keeping his wolves in the pit a lot of the time, and I think that they kind of found an answer for Oracle. I think that being able to find the backline jump, not necessarily from the support, but from the offlane, I think might be the solution for
Works pretty well
for VICI Gaming.
I know during that game there was a point in time when Tsunami, you were pretty upset.
Yeah, so I was power ranking Fly also higher than Poyoyo, and then a homie just like bought back on Terrorblade in the middle of a Roche fight without Metamorphosis, without Terror Wave, and he was just kind of standing around, and I'm like, this is the kind of thing that loses games. But then Jug also bought back, and so it was like both the carriers were very, very vulnerable. It's just that Terrorblade didn't have a wolf biting him.
Yeah.
And then during that anime fight that you were talking about, Terrorblade went down, and then I heard you in the green room, you're like, well, he's dead for 200 seconds.
2 minutes of no Terrorblade. I was, at that point, I think VICI Gaming was confident that they had the win, but it was very, very close, very fun to watch.
Yep. Very, very fun game to watch, despite I think VICI Gaming having a little bit of a better draft, an edge from the get-go. Still, IG, they did have their comfort zone. It didn't work out.
A lot of people like Black and MLP mentioned they thought that it would be a 2-0 for IG, and it ended up being 1-1, and now we have a game 3 coming up. What do you guys think about
Sumi,
that?
you and I predicted that VICI would take the win.
Of
course. You're crushing the predictions in these China on China games. Lizard, what do you have to say for yourself?
Nothing. The power rankings in the Chinese region are very weird. Like you have Aster, you have VICI Gaming, IG, and PSG LGD, and it just goes in circles. Like one team wins versus PSG LGD, PSG LGD versus another, and that another versus the first one. It's all like, who wakes up better that day, who has a better undisturbed sleep that night usually takes the game.
Well, hopefully we will have a great Game 3, just like Game 1 and Game 2. Now, we have Game 3 to decide who will take it between IG and VICI Gaming. We have to give a shout out to DBS for being a great partner for this event. If you want to stand a chance to win a limited edition, oh my god, the Tsunami hand. If you want to win a limited edition Dota 2 swag pack, you can follow the official bank partner DBS at DBS Bank on Instagram to look out for the giveaway. Game 3 of IG and VICI Gaming coming up after this short break.
That's RTC, Abu Dhabi, Toenail, and Doggo, and Kayasen! What's up? Dude, we're such huge fans! Where did you get that skin? Whoa!
JBL presents The Sounds of Victory. JBL Quantum Gaming Headsets.
ถ้าช่วงนี้คุณกำลังเหงา ขอแนะนำให้คุณเปิด Tinder Swipe Match Chat แล้วไปมีเพื่อนสัมพันธ์
เอาเลยไหมอ่ะ
เอาสิคะ
คิวไป1 คิวไป2
Tinder แอปหาเพื่อนสัมพันธ์
Pressure, frothing on the edge of taking every
Invictus Gaming and VICI Gaming, two teams from the same region fighting to stay in the upper bracket. The team that wins will move on to fight EG and stay in the upper bracket. The other will head to the lower bracket to fight against Team Liquid. Tsunami and Lizard, who do you think is going to go down to the lower bracket?
I have no inclination one way or the other. I think based off of player performance, like you said, Lizard, I do think that IG has a slight edge in their power rankings. I do think the mid lane, I think it's bleeding
Bit
IG.
emo,
I think
yep.
the
Bit
emo
favored.
Fly kind of favor over Poyoyo. Kaka I haven't really seen enough of. I don't really think he's been able to shine. I will say that Old 11 is beating JT though, in my mind.
In the matchups, definitely.
In the matchups.
That Underlord in the first game was pretty sick from
Yeah,
JT. In the
true.
second game, Timbersaw did not work as well. Overall, maybe 55-45 towards IG.
Yep.
Slight advantage, but it all comes down to the draft. And this game did prove it. At the beginning of the last game, I was like, okay, I still believe in IG. They haven't lost. They still haven't lost to VICI Gaming, and because of that, I kind of like VICI Gaming have to prove that they can win it. But it's
The One
Chinese region.
Esports Fantasy had IG as I think they had better odds for IG to take it.
Oh,
And
yeah,
I think it
certainly,
was a lot further. It was a lot bigger of a gap than just 55-45.
People
But
put a lot of emphasis on historical performance, though, and given the fact that IG did top their DPC and beat VICI 2-0 in that DPC, I can see where the numbers come from.
I think it was 74% for IG. And
That's fair.
Black and MLP
Very
said that
specific
people were
number,
expecting a 2-0.
Yep.
Yeah, but again, this is all like no one even really had any concrete information. I've seen growth from VICI Gaming. IG, when you start at the top, you can there's nowhere left to go, right?
I mean, you start on the top of your region, then you climb on
That's
the
true.
international scene as well. They have some more way to go until they reach the top. But
Let's see it.
So are you saying that VICI Gaming has like that anime plotline thing where they grow?
Dude,
and
going
then
from the wild cards, that already is very inspiring. This was
true.
not a group stage thing. This was not obviously the upper bracket berth that first place in the DPC got you. This was grinding it out from day one.
Yeah, and both of these Chinese teams that are coming from the wild card have had a very similar arc, similar story in which PSG LGD for me is maybe even more favorited out of the three. I think they've shown the most growth. However, VICI Gaming as well after the wildcards, after the group stage, coming here, taking a game off of IG, something that they haven't done.
Yeah.
So in a while now.
I really like how they adapted to game one. They basically, I feel like they learned, it was like their redemption arc after game one to come back and take control of the game.
Yeah, the two lessons that I had was, do you have an answer for Oracle? And are you going to give Old 11 a good hero? And it turns out the answer to both of them was pick Lycan.
The same hero for
Same
both
hero.
of them. Yeah, really well played by them overall. Mostly when it comes to the draft, I think Phoenix played an instrumental part of that draft. However, because if Terrorblade was free to roam and do whatever he wanted to after he pops that BKB, the game would have been completely different. The team fights. However, that egg has a secret ability called Taunt, in which you just make everything go after you and attack you. Sadly for IG, Terrorblade was the only thing that could actually take it down.
Yeah, which was the last issue that I had with the Timbersaw pick, is that there is no egg hitter. Whereas if they had like a bristleback, which I don't know if that would help
it wouldn't
that
have
much.
been an egg hitter as well, but
at least
it's
someone,
a better.
I mean,
it's
someone
better.
can right-click at least. Timbersaw never wants to be right-clicking.
Maybe.
Radiant team ban.
Maybe Monkey King is something that you can think about.
Yeah.
But both of these Chinese teams in the group stage and in the wildcards show that Monkey is a very difficult hero to play against.
Could they still pick the Oracle and ban out
ban.
Lycan? Maybe have just a little bit of an easier time?
Oh man, if Lycan becomes the first phase ban, then I think Old 11's going to be thrilled with the situation. Yeah, at most I'd say that it'll get second phase priority, which unless Pango is let through, they usually don't give Old 11 first phase pick
10
privilege.
seconds remaining.
Still, same. Pango, IO, we might see the Monkey.
5 seconds
Maybe we'll see
remaining.
a different first phase
Yeah,
ban
VICI's
from IG.
second one was Alchemist usually, so let's see.
When they ban IO, is that just to prevent the core IO?
Yeah.
Because I don't think I've seen in the DPC, I don't think I've seen Fly play a core Wisp.
They also don't have first pick, so I just don't think they want to. They don't want to find out. They don't want to mess around and find out. So
Exactly. After the group stage and the wild card, every single team should be banning out the Wisp.
Unless if you're first pick. If you're first pick, then be like, you gotta figure out what to ban.
There you go.
Ooh, Shaman.
No, this is something that every single team has been banning out versus VICI Gaming. It's either the Shaman or the Phoenix when it comes to the supports in the DPC league. This time around, INVICTUS Gaming, they go back with the Shaman, and what's so weird is it's not like Shadow Shaman was played a lot in the group stages and in the wildcard. It wasn't.
5 seconds remaining.
Chinese specialty. Same thing with the Phantom Lancer that you were mentioning, and then both of them emerge in this series and are very, very powerful. VICI Gaming stick with their go-to ban, and IG steal the Phoenix.
Yeah, they're also a very powerful Phoenix team. They flex it from 4 and 5 as well.
That does leave Monkey King open though. Typically a first ban for IG.
Yeah.
Now VICI Gaming can
10
pick it
seconds
up.
remaining.
I already kind of like the Phoenix into the Monkey King. As a support player, it's one of my favorite matchups because you somewhat force him out of the Wukong's command, and I feel like if you're playing Monkey King, you need to have a strong teamfight composition around that Wukong's command. And if a team that you're playing against already has a Phoenix egg, it's difficult to match that.
And even in like lane, dealing with fire spirits is such a pain for a Monkey King who relies so heavily on getting Jingu stacks.
All these dots are very difficult.
And can't jump out of trees and stuff like that. Yeah.
Dive can take you off of a tree.
Supernova destroys everything in the AoE. Yeah.
But if they don't take it, then that means that IG could probably.
That is also a good point, actually.
And that will synergize
and that's
really
an amazing
well.
team fight. Yeah, actually, I would be totally down for IG to pick up Monkey King here.
I would be down for Emo Puck here, or maybe that Prophet as well. They have options really with the Void Spirit. They go with the Lion. This should be now Kaka Lion and Phoenix position 5. They go with what's safe, tried and tested, and that's the Lion versus Void Spirit.
Puck has been banned so much, I almost forgot that hero even existed.
10 seconds remaining.
Yeah, and now that VICI Gaming don't get their hands on their
5 seconds remaining.
Phase,
That Void will likely go middle, so it wouldn't make sense for them to pick Puck unless they put it position 4, right?
Yeah, they can try to flex Void Spirit, but I don't think that's too likely.
They could go with what you just said. The Tusk is pretty decent versus Lion, not so great versus Phoenix. Or go back to their cool position 5s, you know? The Lunas, the Gyros. I mean, why not?
God, look at that player cam. Look at the heroes just appearing in front of them. That's so cool. I like that.
Do you like the Mirana versus Phoenix? Do you play it?
Yeah, so the reason people incentivize is because like, oh, you have an egg hitter because leap attack speed is great. But at the same time, I barely want my Mirana jumping into the fight directly. I would rather have her on the outside being able to snipe out stuff with arrows, especially if you have set up like a Void Spirit Aether Remnant and stuff like that.
The problem that Phoenix, like I love playing both of these heroes, the problem for Phoenix is you always place the X so that it's in position. Mirana, no matter where you put it, leaps in and attacks it. So you get that one extra hero to have attacking it, which can be a little bit problematic for the Phoenix.
Oh, the AR thing. That's what you were talking about, Sumi.
Yeah.
I thought you were seeing their glasses, and you're like, whoa, she's good. She can see the captain's mode screen through the reflection.
No, I meant the AR. The
Oh, yeah,
AR on the
that's
top
sick.
screen. On
10
the
seconds
screen.
remaining.
Pretty cool.
Puck is banned
5 seconds
out
remaining.
now
Unsurprising.
because IG could have picked it up.
Yeah. It's just very good versus the Void Spirit. Like in the laning stage, Void Spirit does fine. But
Carry pool is going to be like wide open now, which has not been the case in the previous two games. You'll have TB, Jug, Morphling, Monkey King. Okay, Jug's banned out.
one by one, now they're
okay,
gonna
so
go out.
give me a TB. I'm surprised Monkey King's slipping through this far.
Yep, TB and Monkey King. We've seen the matchup. We've seen Monkey King win. We've also seen Terrorblade win.
Yeah.
Really depends on the full team composition.
Radiant team ban.
It's difficult for TB to fight. With the Morphling ban, now Invictus Gaming, they need to think about either banning the TB or picking it up for themselves. That's usually how it goes. But also, IG, they play Morphling a lot, and VICI Gaming, they don't want to face Flies or Emos.
10 seconds
Morphling,
remaining.
so.
Yeah. Then I guess there's also Troll and Wraith King.
5 seconds
lurking.
remaining.
Troll probably a bit higher.
Yeah, against
And,
Phoenix, that would be really nice.
How would Weaver do?
I know China likes it, but I'm still not a fan. I appreciate you bringing it back to my memory, though, because that is a very real possibility.
Team ban.
In the last couple of weeks, in the Chinese region, Weaver started being banned more often than picked. Before, he wasn't even picked that much, but he did. The stonks did rise, and there are reasons. He's pretty good versus a lot of carries that are playing right now. He's really good versus the Phoenix as well.
I'm not diamond handing.
Dire team pick.
It really depends on the player as well. Okay, PL and Morphling banned out.
So as Oracle gets the second phase ban from IG.
This is the
Monkey King.
Is it Monkey instant? Okay. Also pretty solid. Like,
Taking it away from IG as well.
actually, it was IG that was banning it, right? It was Pango plus Monkeys. So.
Yeah.
Now, VICI Gaming, they snatch it. They have a really strong core.
10 seconds remaining.
And they're asking IG, what's your hand now? Are you picking that TB or not?
5 seconds remaining.
I think a Troll is also pretty good.
Troll is an option.
Not too keen on Wraith King.
I actually don't mind Wraith King at all versus Monkey King while you have something that disrupts the Wukong command. So this matchup...
like the cast animation?
No. For me, Monkey King is really good versus Wraith King if you can kill him and then set up Wukong's command around the area where he died. However, if you have like Mars, Phoenix and strong teamfight composition...
get out of the
yeah,
area.
that will be like, okay, you want to stand here and fight? Okay, fight us. And then it's a little bit different, and I actually value Wraith King more, but TB is still in the pool, which is a good option too.
The other hero that manages to make it through to the second phase, Mars.
10 seconds remaining.
JT.
Is
5
it for
seconds
JT
remaining.
or...
Oh, you think it's Emo?
No, wait. Yeah, Mars JT, definitely. Sorry, I was thinking about Abaddon in my head for VICI Gaming, which will be your DY position 5.
I mean, the mid lane is probably Void Spirit, so you could flex the Mars.
Nah, I don't... It's possible, yeah, but... Most likely offering, right?
Yeah.
So who does VICI Gaming have left to pick for?
They have mid and safe lane. This could be your Storm or Terrorblade, in my opinion. Maybe even the Wraith King.
What do you think Old 11's playing?
Radiant team ban.
Templar Assassin.
No, I'm thinking that they're waiting for the offlane on VICI Gaming.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
I was talking about IG, and they go with the TA.
Oh, wow. See her, she was hiding.
She's being so small.
Behind the shield.
She's actually so
10
small.
10 seconds remaining.
Yeah, we have a bunch of tower damage coming from TA,
5 seconds
teamfight
remaining.
damage coming from TA, and then some stuns from Lion and who's blue? Mars, yeah, with the spear.
Dude, I said TA 2 games in a row finally. She comes out.
She finally came out, yeah. It's a good situation for her. There's not very much stuff that can penetrate refraction. Good mid lane matchup
Very
versus
good
Void Spirit.
lane, yeah, as well.
Dire team banned.
And I think this is also another hero that Emo should be able to scale very, very comfortably on.
Yeah, he knows the hero inside out.
Yeah.
I've seen him win a matchup with Mirana versus TA, which historically is completely TA favorite.
Radiant team ban!
It should be. I believe it still is, but he just knows the hero very well to be able to
counter the hero.
Yeah, counter it and abuse it in proper ways.
Yeah.
But yeah, it looks like a pretty solid TA game.
Is that a Razor ban?
Yeah, it's a Razor ban. That's interesting.
10
so
seconds
Death
remaining.
Prophet is still an availability.
Yeah, they might be thinking about Troll as well on the side of IG,
yes,
so they ban out the Razor.
That's a good call. Yeah, Ursa's banned out by VICI Gaming. I would want to see them final ban Troll, I think.
Yeah, VICI Gaming, they're banning Great King or Troll, most likely. Or Troll or Terrorblade, I would say. But Troll probably the strongest one to ban. Whatever they ban, it's going to be a little bit crowded in the triangle for IG.
Agreed.
Radiant team pick!
Troll.
There goes Troll. So they're basically trying to force them to pick
Wraith King or
Wraith King
Terrorblade.
or Terror.
Both
And it would be better if they picked It would be better for VICI if they picked Wraith King, right? Because of the Wukong's command setup that you mentioned.
10 seconds remaining.
I think TB is stronger. In
Dire team pick! Weaver!
So they go with...
Weaver?
Hey, you called it. You called it.
Yeah. I think this makes actually a lot of sense. More so than Wraith King or Terrorblade or Troll, because they did need a hero that's a semi-carry. They didn't need a hero that's going to be pushing TA out of the triangle 13 minutes in.
5 seconds
they needed
remaining.
a hero that can actually fight early on, and Weaver is exactly that. You go Falcon Blade, Maelstrom, and that's pretty much all you need from the early game. You don't need to go into the triangle and farm up Ancients for 10 minutes.
So the last pick is for Old 11, right?
I would like
Yes.
Nature's Prophet.
Wouldn't be bad, actually.
Yeah.
Some more range. Good hero versus the egg as well.
CK.
I was thinking about it.
That was very nice of you to think about it before saying no, it's fine.
The reason I say Prophet is because I want an offlaner to scale also. Because IG has these 2 semi-carries, then I want scaling to come
This is perfect,
Beastmaster.
It was banned out in the last 2 games. We forgot completely about it, but it's really good. It gives you some extra attack speed versus the Phoenix egg as well. It gives you those Necros versus the Weaver. It's not very easy to roar anyone here, but it gives you objective taking possibilities as well.
Shreds TA's Refraction also with all the units.
It's a really good Old 11 game once again. I'm not so sold on the IG's draft once again.
But it's
inclined to say
emo
VICI. Yeah, it's emo TA. It's Weaver as well.
Phoenix
Mars is really nice.
Crazy team fight.
But Beastmaster on the other hand, and you have a much easier way towards the late game with the Monkey King.
Yeah.
This is so hard. But we have to pick. You can't just sit in the middle.
Yeah, I've been on the IG side the whole day. I won't sit on the middle. I'll go on their side once more. Let's see it. Emo TA. I've been talking about this mid laner for the whole DPC season. Let's see what he can do on the major stage.
I'll go with VICI because I think it's gonna be it's very interesting to hear the wildcard Chinese team dethrones the first place DPC Chinese team.
So you're going for the storyline and you're going for the draft. Oh man, I don't know.
Heart versus brain.
Oh man, I really like Monkey King, but I really like the Mars Phoenix. Give me IG. Okay. I'll take IG.
I respect it.
Both of these drafts are, again,
the whole
very
series
close.
Is very even drafts.
To battle!
Well, this is game 3. We'll see how these teams do in the final game to remain in the upper bracket. IG versus VICI Gaming. Take it away, Black and MLP.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. We are officially here for game 3 between IG and VICI Gaming. It is, of course, MLP and Black joining you once again. Black, the panel very divided between these two teams as to who had the better draft. I'm very intrigued to see what you're thinking about this.
I am quite liking the VG draft here. I think Monkey King is just one of those heroes, you know, where TA, if you're not completely snowballing, once you're stuck in that Wukong you're just completely dead. They have Beastmaster to control the Weaver as well as TA as well.
30
so I'm favoring
seconds to
VG
battle.
quite a bit here. But again, you know, it's IG. If anybody can outplay teams, it's IG. They are insanely skilled individually.
And they certainly are, and even last game, it was quite close at the end. VICI just barely managed to kind of scrape through and get to that high ground, but we'll see how this one turns out. Their draft does look pretty nice. At least for now, they are going to just be around to secure those 10, or rather 0-minute power bounty runes. But it should be a 2-for-2, unless Flyfly could sneak one away, but that is not going to be the case. Alt 11 and PYW will be able to secure. Not daring enough indeed.
He would have died.
Think anyone's gonna live through this?
I'm on his side here. I wouldn't have done it either. A little bit too risky for one bounty rune that you might not even get because there's 2 heroes clicking against you. And I really hope TA is going to have a good game because he got a ninja joke prepared.
Do you really? You were.
Yeah, but I'll only bring it if he's owning, because otherwise.
Okay. You were telling me about your dad jokes earlier on. I got to tell you, like they weren't very good.
You loved them. You loved them.
They aren't very good. I think we should just avoid them for the viewers' sake, maybe. We'll see though. I want Emo to do a good job, but at the same time, if I'm going to hear another black joke, I don't know. I don't know if it's really worth it.
I mean, you can say what you want. You were enjoying it, and you loved it. You know, you might be putting on a tough act now for the viewers, but you were cracking up. I know it. You know it.
I'll give you that. Of course, mid lane, we do see Emo up against Ori. Again, Ori so far having a very good time, doubling the CS of the TA. In this matchup, Black, who has the advantage just based off heroes?
So Void Spirit is gonna do just fine until like level 3, but the higher the levels go, the better TA is gonna be. Level 4, level 5, and especially level 6, like Void Spirit is gonna be in a heap of trouble here. He'll have to find a lot of rotations, and TA will be free farming here.
Dire's top tower.
Probably leading him into very good, you know, Desolator timing.
Top lane. EY already can take a fair bit of damage. He'll get the Aphotic Shield out, and Empoyo even helping with the Boundless Strike to make sure he could run away. He's just fine. Was down at the bot lane as well. You'll see PYW and Old 11 around. Of course, again up against Flyfly and the Phoenix. A lot was being said about the Weaver, and you know maybe it being a little bit underwhelming. Do you agree about that with the Weaver pick? Do you find it underwhelming, or do you think it's quite strong right now?
I think the hero in general is quite strong, and in this game in particular they needed it because they picked the hero like TA. You can't pick a hard carry with the TA. It just doesn't make any sense. TA herself is not a hard carry, but a carry that takes a lot of space on the map, you know. Weaver makes perfect sense. A hero that can be active early, you buy this Maelstrom, did a lot of damage, exactly what they needed. However, if Weaver somehow ends up losing the lane, hero is gonna be very bad. Like, Weaver is a hero that really relies on winning lane, transitioning into a strong mid game.
There it is. Of course, you can get caught out very easily as well by the Raw into the arrow setup. It's just a lot of answers to the Weaver to boot. Top lane, Kaka. He jumped on Poyo. Spike gonna come out, save the day. The miscoil, not gonna be quite enough. DY, he won't go for the dive with the Aphotic Shield. Just leave Kaka to salve up. We'll just be happy with the regen being kind of taken out here by IG.
I want to see what item build Weaver is going for here. See this old school Linken's build against the spell like Roar, or if he just goes into the more traditional Maelstrom pickup now that we always see. It's very iffy. Like, it's a tough Weaver game. You get Roared, you probably die. You get Arrowed, you die. You get Initiated on by Void Spirit, you die. There's a lot of ways to die this game. But they don't have any save.
But what kind of itemization could you go for in this Weaver? Because even the BKB is not going to help through the Raw. Lincoln's maybe, but we never see it anymore.
Yeah, we have to just wait and see how we should play, like more defensively or offensively. The offensive build would be like Maelstrom into BKB. The defensive build would be like Linken's, probably Maelstrom, just to make sure you can't get rawed. But either way, it's you will have to outplay as Weaver here. Taking a lot of damage here on DY.
You're right, power is to spawn up. DD rune for Emo.
Wow, it's a perfect rune for TA, of course. Pump jungle is a little bit faster. Arrow, nice arrow.
PYW, he secures the first block. Very nice arrow there. Now Kaka going to be in a spot of danger. See why he's moving in. He has the misscall and he'll get the kill. It should be a return kill for JT. He does manage to pick it up, but I suppose as the Abaddon killing off the pause 4 line, you're going to be pretty satisfied with that.
You were very happy.
Gaming.
Like, JT kind of debated Kaka, you know? He faked his spear like 3-4 times. Kaka was like, yo, bro, you're gonna spear him or what? And then ends up falling. I don't think he expected to die there.
TP straight down the bot lane.
Bounty runes. Really making it time though. Should be able to steal at least one of them.
The prize is mine.
Taken away from Ori.
Void Spirit. Yeah, Void Spirit will arrive there and be like, huh? Where?
Arrow.
Nice arrow dodge. And this is the problem here with Weaver. Kaka coming from behind. Good impale.
Old 11 gonna get caught and he'll die. Very nice pick off there from Kaka, and he's been very good on this line, just very impactful every time.
Yeah, and they needed that. Like as we said, Weaver needs to win lane. It's not an easy lane at all against the Beastmaster board. They just have too much health and deal too much damage. It was a very good gank. I think they still need to kill him 1 or 2 more times here on a Beastmaster.
Nemo.
Yeah, you can already see 40 CS to Void Spirit's 26. And there's not much you can do about it, you know, like it's just a terrible matchup for the Void Spirit. He's doing pretty well, all things considered.
That he is. I suppose that DD rune really did help out earlier on. You've got Kaka still there, securing more power runes to boot. Like, you've got the Invis right there. Emo should be able to get in range to pick it up. In fact, Kaka takes it himself. It's like you don't have the bottle anyway.
Even the Sentry, the Ops ward as well. Just placed it a little bit too close to the lane, so that Sentry caught both of it.
Jump in.
Careful here on the Void Spirit.
Ori gets stunned up. Arrow is going to fly to try and help out, and it does land onto Emo. We'll turn around now with the Astral Step. Emo getting low, but not low enough. The refraction will save him. While that was happening, down a bot lane, Old 11 gets taken out. Firefly managed to pick one up on the Weaver.
Exerting a lot of pressure here onto the mid lane. Then forcing VG to beat 3 heroes there and making perfect usage of it by killing the lone Beastmaster. And I saw Weaver queue up the Ring of Hell, but it's just a debate. He's actually going to the Javelin.
PYW now.
To the Mirana. Starfall dealing a ton of damage, of course. One of the best nukes in the game this early on. Easy kill for him. He's actually really farmed on this Mirana. Like, he's level 5 already.
One of the perks of the Mirana, right? You could just go into the jungle, just snipe those neutral creeps. If you get a couple kills like that, it's very easy to level up. It should be a very nice game for our Mirana this game, but we'll see.
Yeah, not too much action happening here. I'm still waiting for the rotations of the Void Spirit, which will inevitably be happening. But it's not an easy gank by any means. Like, Mars is not the easiest kill, and neither is Weaver. They probably need to raw for it. Still missing a quarter of a level. Once the raw is up, you know, from raw into arrow, probably just gonna see a dead Weaver, especially with that necro pickup now.
You can already see PYW just waiting around for that moment. Meanwhile, Emo, he's gonna have a DD rune, so there is some kind of turn potential here from IG. They do react fast enough after that raw does come out, but we should see it now. Fly, he's going to move in. Old 11, he's out of vision, but the Sakuchi not going to end fast enough, and now the Moonlight being committed.
They saw it.
They did. They have a sentry anyway, just in case, and looks like that initial Moonlight Shadow is not really going to lead to much.
His level 6 actually was so damn fast on this Mirana here. Faster than Beastmasters. Good D-ward here.
Old 11.
See when they choose to use that raw. It should result in a kill because Radiant has no save whatsoever. Whoever gets raw chooses there very easily. Ori also making his way bottom here. They want to look for this Weaver. And they get him here. He's gonna be a little bit too careless.
Already used up. Ori trying to break the gap. No, he won't Astral Step in. He'll wait it out. Firefly going to be safe for now. 8th Remnant to scout in the tree line. Still Fly is allowed to just kind of Sakuchi around. Ollie's there just in case he needs the help, and well, VICI, they just don't seem to find the opening. Or he's going to stick around for a bit longer. Ollie's there. Now moving in, or he should see them. Kaka, he gets the sun off first. They shouldn't have enough lockdown surely, but Emo's going to go in with the belt strike, but they'll turn right back around onto Kaka. They do get the lion kill. Emo still trying to fight PYW. Again, without the lockdown, the Mirana's going to be just fine. Finally do get that lion.
What a bounty!
We were talking about how huge the TA is, but look at Monkey King out-farming even the free farm TA.
Radiant's top tower is
on
under
a super good timing here on the battlefield. Continues this way, it's gonna be at around 12-13, which is gonna pose a huge problem because we said this Monkey King potentially can be unstoppable.
Emo have his refraction burned out by that urn from PYW, but that'll be it. They won't actually jump in.
Your ancestors
still hanging around mid though. It looks like they want to start applying that. Action burned out by that urn from PYW, but that'll be it. They won't actually jump in. Still hanging around mid though. It looks like they want to start applying that pressure on that mid lane.
Do you miss the intense passion? Best teams in the world. Powerful emotions. Epic fights. Stunning rivalries. It's time for the biggest comeback. Singapore. This March. Bland Major Dota is coming back. Yes! Do you miss the intense passion? Best teams in the world.
Structures are
he does get the Phoenix. Ollie, he's gone. JT gonna be just fine. A very nice egg though, I might add, for Ollie.
Very nice egg. He was so close of being out of mana. Like, if that melee necro hits him one more time while he's in the air, he's gone. He's not gonna have enough mana to egg. But, you know, math is hard, but he's very good at it. And he's gonna turn it around.
You don't need to tell me math's hard, Black Eye. I'm not very good at math. We're not very well known for that, I'll tell you.
What are you very well known for other than having super dangerous animals and insects?
Surviving those super dangerous animals and insects. When they say drop bears, but people tell me they are real. Anyway, it won't matter. For now, a sneak comes out on the Abaddon. They catch out the Mars, a nice Aether Remnant into the arrow. And they'll get the kill.
Well done, good
PYW.
smoke, but the TA is still, you know, I have a very strong timing here. Blink they already completed 1,000 gold off the Desolator. I'm very surprised by this Monkey King just staying neck and neck with this TA. Like, TA has not joined a single fight yet. Monkey King has, and it's still the same network. Just a very good job here by Poyo.
I do agree. Poyo having a great game already. Tops the PYW, his third kill of the game already. 50 gold.
50 gold off the Battle Fury. And that's with threats as well, and the magic wand. Absolutely. He's just filthy rich. Humongous.
There it is.
Weaver
Pick it
here.
up now.
If he gets Raw, he's in trouble.
Can they get it? Raw is going to be out. Arrow, of course, to follow up, and it's that easy. If you can get the Raw, it's almost a guaranteed kill onto Fly. Of course, when you look at the Monkey King...
It's such a hard Weaver game.
Yeah. Especially when you've got this Monkey King farming this well. It's going to be concerning already for IG.
Yeah, Monkey King is looking to be unstoppable. Like this TA, as soon as she has Deso, they need to go. They need to make something happen. Like Monkey King is not going to lose this game, mid-late game, at this pace.
PYW.
No quick buy yet on the Monkey King. I'm assuming he's just gonna go into... We have to see if he wants to go for the more greedy approach. Yep, he's going for the super greedy approach. The Axe Scepter instead of the BKB. I mean, can you blame him though? Like he's having an absolute free game. So
I think if you can afford to do it. If you can afford to do it, you just do it. Yeah, that's Dota plays though. They're always greedier, right? If you can take the greedy route, you just take the greedy route every single time.
Dyer's top tower
Wow, that's a lot of damage. Borrowed time's gonna kick in, but it probably won't help. Why just gets absolutely bursted by Emo. Very, very nice.
Emo read him like a book. Was waiting there with the melt, hits him, and then steals the rune away in front of his face. Probably having a good old laugh there. But you can see the power of Desolarity. And arrow on him. It's just too easy.
Reinforce their structures.
It's not what you want to see. If you're IG, losing that Weaver again, over and over again. I mean, you can rely on the TA later on, but it's kind of like you said, the Monkey King is going to outscale them. And there's going to be problems, and now they go into the arena. He's down. JP saves the dailies, but now the finger is going to be able to burst down Ori. On trouble here. That's a big target. The Monkey King will get the balance strike out, but it's not going to be enough. He's gone. Onto DY. They want the Abaddon. He should be saved by the tier 2, but you got the Void Spirit, you got the Monkey King, and you may have just got the Beastmaster. Old 11, he's going to try and TP away, but JT, of course, he does have the spear up. That'll be another.
And that's a Roshan.
3 down.
Monkey King dead for 25. I think that's all the time that he can take this Roshan. However, the Neko 3s tend to be a bit annoying, but they're just about to expire.
The prize is mine.
Still, Roshan's going down fast.
Don't think they can defend this one.
Rose for IG. I mean, considering the start for Fly, the difficulties he's been having this game, that Age is going to feel very nice. Just being able to not necessarily have a secondary life on your Weaver. I believe Emo did take it, but just being able to have an advantage for a little bit and maybe just trusting your team to make the space while you can catch up and fight.
So that's a problem though. Like TA is a hero that wants to take space, not make space, you know? Weaver's job this game was to be the space maker, but he has been shut down so hard that he's probably the one who will have to take the space now. And again, like if you're all in on a TA, like the game is looking pretty decent right now after that good fight in Roshan. But if your game is all in on TA, King can really, you know, put some salt in your soup there.
Salt in your soup. That's one I've never heard before, Black. Thank you for that.
You're welcome. The Germans have a lot of different ways of saying a lot of different things.
Why salt? Why salt in your soup, of all things?
Because if it's too salty, it's not nice. Like we don't like salty food too much.
Mid lane, DY again. Borrowed time can be popped by Emo. Meanwhile, top, however, everyone's gonna just disengage. But they were trying to make the jump in onto Ori.
Abaddon, one of the tougher supporters, of course, as far as time coming out pretty much every time. IG just invading the VG jungle here.
And they are. They feel very confident with that Aegis on Emo. You know, they can take a big fight. They have pretty much every ulti up, apart from the finger. So now just control.
Dragon Knight as well. Absolute monster. Like if you get caught out the her alone, you're more likely going to die. I think they will need to keep the roar, probably for the TA this time. Like roaring the Weaver won't really
Dire structures are fortified.
Radiant's bottom tower
Flip gonna be forced down. T2 gonna be safe for at least now. VG, they're gonna move into the mid lane, maybe hope for a TP back, but IG, they've actually smoked up as 3. Fine, PYW.
Joanna getting caught, potentially.
Leaps away. Oh, 11, that's a big attack. They found the Beastmaster, they'll blow him up, and now the Wukong is there. Arena down, JT locking them all in. They cannot really fight this. Evo still going with the Mojo. Even without the Wukong's command, they just don't care about it. The Monkey is gonna try man fight, but Emo has his number, gets a double kill on the rest of VICI Gaming. They love Ori, but no, they lose the Aegis. YW with the arrow. Aether Remnant to lock down the TA, but Emo looks like he's about done. They got what they came for.
Super good.
Dire's top tower is under
I was a bit worried that they were fighting the monkey in his own ult, but it didn't even matter. Weaver just ulted out, and TA stood on the outside of it. So they still managed to take the monkey down inside the Wukong.
Under attack.
Definitely a really nice engagement there again from Karka, and you saw the arena just from JT, making it so they couldn't actually get onto the high ground. Very, very strong start. Meanwhile, mid lane, they've gone onto JT. They do find the bars. Karka unable to help, but they do get PYW as a trade.
Dire's top
All
tower
very
is
favorable
under
to
attack.
VG.
Ahead of everyone now. 3.5k gold ahead of the Monkey King. And this is the kind of TA game that we were hoping to see. Like, he's doing God's work right now. 4-0-3. Almost has his BKB finished. On top of Dragonlance, Desolator, Blinkdagger in just 20 minutes. That is just filthy ridiculous. This is not legal.
It is Emo though, right? Like, this is one of his signature heroes, and it's almost to be expected that he's going to perform. Yeah. Especially on the main stage.
Let me ask you, MLP. What kind of shoes do ninjas wear?
Oh no. What kind of shoes do they wear, Mr. Black?
Sneakers.
Oh, goodness me. Get out. Someone get this man out. He's been drinking or something. That's terrible. That's terrible, Black.
What? That's great. It is great. Absolutely great. Everyone's gonna love it. Don't you worry. And we saw a Baron, you know, just TP out. Because why not?
Top lane, Karka looking for an initiation.
He had Blink online still.
And he does. Old 11, gonna be
nice double
That's
impale.
a great start out from Karka, just locking them both in into the heads. Now the arena's there, JT with the initiation. Right onto the Beastmaster. That'll be Old 11 gone, and Ori, he gets blown up by Emo. What an earth spike from Karka.
Super well done by him. The egg, perhaps a little bit too much, you know, wasn't necessarily needed, but like you can just see the trust in IG. Like he follows up perfectly on the Mars. Lion doesn't die. Just perfect execution by IG. Now 5k ahead. Playing some marvelous Dota.
Why?
Onto the Abba as well.
They'll just wait it out and shielded up by JT.
middle
Arrow
tower is under
connecting
attack.
PYW, trying to help out, but DY is certainly caught. There's not really much damage on Flashlight right now, but they will eventually get it.
Is under attack.
And now the Weaver that was so shut down early, suddenly third in the network, only 1k behind the Monkey King.
Radiant's
Game is
bottom
looking
tower is
fantastic for IG. And VG, they will start to, you know, they will need to get some pickoffs going, because I don't think in a team fight they're going to win it anymore.
How did they come back so fast? Like, we saw Emo farming really well, and we were still talking about how well the Monkey King was doing. Now it just doesn't seem to matter. Now hold that thought plan, because Ori ain't the Remnant, already gonna land on JT. Spear away, it's gonna be there, but PYW sets up the rules. Arena is definitely up, but he has no help around him. He'll drop the Arena, but it is gonna be wasted.
I mean, just waste some time, you know. By the time you're up, you're probably gonna have it up again. And what really turned this game around was that mid-fight where Monkey King died, Void Spirit died, when they tried to jump on top of the TA, they just didn't have damage to kill him. Then, you know, has been all IG. They got the Roshan off that, they got the mid-2 tower off that, and it's just like a snowball effect. Wow, Butterfly now on TA. He didn't even go BKB. He's going full offense. I'm loving it. However, it is very risky. Like, it can throw the game quite easily. You have to see how it goes for him, you know?
Like I said to you, Black, if you can go greedy, you go greedy. This is Dota after all. Butterfly.
The thing is, you go greedy to fund your future, you know, but in the future, you're gonna be stable. He's not being very stable right now. And one hit.
Dire's bottom tower is under
See you, DY.
Okay, maybe two. I lied.
Still unstoppable for Emo. TP's down bot by VG, but Spear, JT, he's actually caught out of target. PYW should be able to leap out. He's fine.
TA is on the prowl here. If he gets one hit on this Mirana, never mind. Gave up on the. King finished Agram Center. Even he's not going BKB. Why does nobody want to go BKB? What am I seeing?
It's definitely not SCA,
Any BKBs? Spirit, no BKB. TA, no BKB. Weaver, Lincoln's here, no BKB. Nobody's going BKB.
Who needs it though, Black? BKBs are boring, Black. Come on now. Stop being such an old man.
Winning is fun though.
Hex is out. They've caught the Beastmaster. That should be an easy death as the Vigor comes out. Fly is going to try and get the damage with the Roar. Is there in time? And now Poyo, he's there to turn. He'll get Fly again. Kaka trying to run, gets the Hex out. He's going to be surrounded, or maybe not. The stun is there, but the statues are attacking, and Kaka not find an exit. Meanwhile, mid lane, Ori. You're right.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Not
Dire
that easy after all.
their structures.
Yeah, I mean, they have a 5k net worth lead, but that's all on top of the TA, you know? Like, if TA is not part of the fight, you're missing almost like a third of your whole net worth. So you still gotta make sure that you fight around the TA. Still the strongest hero.
Arena down. It's just not doing out anything, and they might just get the monkey. Poyo, he does drop DY. Again, range for the opponent shield, and now, unfortunately for him, he's going to do with Emo. They're bringing in more help, however. Dissimulate is out. Ori trying to fight onto the Mars JT. Very low. He will still get a lot of damage out, and they do kill off PYW. Into Ori. Can they burst him in time? No. Very close call. He didn't quite have enough
maybe
damage.
Maybe he can fight the... Oh, he found him!
He gets him, great blink in, into the Hex and the Earth Spike, and DY has not had a very easy game. He'll die again.
Pretty big blunder coming out here from the Abaddon. He did not shield the Monkey King, he actually shielded himself. A little bit of a misclick coming out there, but potentially, you know, it wouldn't have changed anything, but still. We can see the initiation here, and look, the Abaddon shielded himself prematurely, and as he shielded himself, it went in onto the Monkey King. So no saving for him there.
Gone down in flames.
The whole time I thought he was going to reach. I thought he initially was out of range. Kaka, top lane, on the Beastmaster again. They've got him, hold 11.
Kaka gets slowed up though.
Yeah, Kaka's gone. Fly. They actually chase him down a little bit. Arrow to fly through, but won't land. Nemo, he's going to jump in for the Meld Strikes, and that's so much damage from the TA, but not quite enough. The Aether Remnant. Lock him down for a second. Poyo, he'll
so careful.
fake.
If he ever gets arrowed in a Wukong's command, he doesn't have BKB. Ooh, he's playing so risky, man. He's getting away with it. It's very fun to see, but, you know, as a... yeah. My heart is dropping every time I see him get stunned from anything.
It seems like it upsets you a little bit. Just there it is. He's queued it up. There you go.
We go. Good job, Emo. You're saving my heart, saving my career. Thank you.
Emo will be responsible in the end. But on the bright side as well, the thing is, he's going to have a 10-second BKB charge going to this late game. That seems like a massive boost. Mid lane
again, Finger.
Yep, they've got the Hex, the Marana easily bursted. Kaka again proving how great he is on this line, and immediately into the Roshan pit. IG,
easy.
They see the opening.
Minus armor, easy, take it. He did not go for BKB. Did you bait me again? He went for a Crystallis this time.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
I love it. Don't listen to Black Emo. You keep doing you. You're looking fabulous.
He had it queued up, you saw it, right?
He did have it queued up. He baited you a little bit, Black. He baited you.
So he's just going into full death, so... I mean, he can one-hit people, sure. You know, but this is the kind of item build I would do in my pub games.
Tower is under attack.
I assume you win your pubs, Black.
I do, yes.
Dire's middle
also a
tower
little
is
different.
under attack. Radiant's bottom tower is under
We chase down here by Fly. And it's going to be another death that looks like the Avalon. He doesn't really have any help. I guess you could argue he's trying to make space.
Oh, they used tanks already?
He actually gets out.
Blunder by Kaka there, but it's just an Abaddon, you know. You're fine with letting him live. Show some mercy.
Just once.
Oh, Emo, is he gonna go in?
He definitely wants to go in. PYW just run. He'll leap away, Yules up to avoid the Meld Strike, but Emo is not giving up. PYW is still out, and now Emerald comes in. They've got him under control with the arena. JT again saving the day on the Mars. Emo, he will survive. He'll get the refraction off. He'll even get a kill on R11. They can't kill him. They just can't kill him.
They absolutely cannot. Like, the evasion proving to be too much. Monkey King all physical. So are the Beastmaster summons. Void Spirit right now, not really, not dealing a whole lot of damage. Oh my god, the damage output. Damn!
Emo.
2 side blades took out half health.
Calm down, sir. Emo TA on the main stage, looking amazing already. Arrow gonna connect. They've got some control now, but do they jump in? Not quite.
Look at his damage output now. Like, if you get away without building BKB, your damage output is gonna be through the roof, and you can see it here. His attacks are kind of triggering, you know.
Ori. Oh, yeah. Just trying to poke and prod. Arrow again. Oh.
On the Weaver though this time.
They did get the Weaver, but the Sunray is already going.
Dyer's top barracks
And again, Salt is out, but Emo's still just perfectly fine.
Dyer's top barracks have
The ball
fallen.
from this player is insane.
Indeed.
Like, I don't know how this guy's walking, man. Like, dragging his ball to the floor like that.
Someone get this guy an underwear sponsorship.
Yeah. This is actually ridiculous. Now finishing up the full data list. Because why not? 7k ahead of the Monkey King. Absolute beast. Like,
This is
I
what
want
you
to see him
do,
one
Black.
hit someone right now.
Smoke on smoke. Right in the mid lane. Emo on the front lines. Does have smoke broken.
Double damage as well.
A double damage. Like he needs at the side blade. Oh, goodness. On 11, he's gone. Oh, now they found the pattern. Finger him down, Kaka. The side blades, though. My goodness. How do you fight
Dyer's
back?
middle tower is under
How
attack.
could you possibly fight back against this Black?
Reinforced their structures.
Jump in.
Another belt bash, instant
Two shots. PYW just can't get close. Emo just way too far ahead. They jump in again. They've got the Hex. They've got the control. They'll get the Void Spirit.
Dyer's middle
I got
tower is
Monkey all
under
by himself. He's like, where did my team go? Team, hello?
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack. Middle barracks.
No BKB necessary for Mr. Emo. They'll march right through the
They
mid.
smoked up as 2. What can they do here?
You've got to do something.
Tower is under attack.
They'll try. Ori gonna have to step in onto JT. He'll pop his BKB and turn right back around with the Yule Scepter and Arena into the spear. Perfectly timed, but they're just gonna blink out.
Nice disengage. Aegis reclaimed at 40. Can they finally go all in on the TA? The problem is she's not the only problem anymore. Weaver's now second in net worth. Although his item build is very wonky. Glepnir or Lincoln Sphere Weaver.
Look at these side blades.
I've never
Mike.
seen this before. Yeah, the Daedalus crit on that Necro Creep.
Just kind of ridiculous. Even D
Dyer's
Wild
bottom
don't
tower
die.
is under attack.
Yeah, no mercy for Emo. Third game now. Game 2?
Dyer's
He
bottom
was like,
tower
alright guys,
has fallen.
you wanna get a win? Go ahead. Be my guest. Game 3, turning it up to 120%.
Well, see it. Swift blink now up on Emo. That's when you know things have gotten a little bit too far. The Swift blink's up at 32 minutes into the game.
There's still no BKB. He could have invested into a BKB, I'm just saying.
He's 12-0 Black. I don't know if he thinks he needs a BKB anymore. He's 12-0 and 7.
Not. Yeah. I just want to put out there, Swift Blink, the Eagle Song Plus recipe is more expensive than a BKB. I just want to put it out there. Now he has BKB queued up once more.
He's just debating you, Black. Just ignore it. He's not
I
actually
wonder
gonna
if he knows that my reaction. Let's see it.
Dyer's bottom tower
So yeah, I'm
has
just gonna debate
fallen.
this caster guy.
These idiot casters think I need a BKB on TA. How dare they insult me like that?
Potentially, there is a Heaven's Hellburn coming out. If you don't have a BKB and you can't hit, just saying.
Sure.
They're all going Heaven's Hellburn. Oh, dude, that would be so funny. If they actually get all the Heaven's Hellburns up. They're going for 3.
3 Heaven's Hellburns and Ethereal Blade on somebody as well. It's,
that would be so funny if it actually ends up in a team fight where TA just doesn't hit for 12 seconds.
Flyfly gonna move into the top side. They see the Weaver, but he's not really the biggest of issues, and As you can see, he's got
This
the
item
Gleipnir
is so
up.
strange. I've never seen this on the Weaver. Orchid, Gleipnir, Orchid. I think it's fair. What am I seeing?
Clearly,
no BKB TA. Weaver going super ham with item builds. I just like, yeah, whatever, guys. We got our own thing.
Yeah. Why not? Just whatever you want. It doesn't really matter. When you're this far ahead, just take whatever you need and just use it. IG through the mid lane. JT setting up with the arena and the Yule setup. He's got the Beastmaster. Old 11 gonna have that stuff purged off. They get straight back in onto the Mars JT. He's gone too far. IG. Back him up. Interesting buyback from JT.
I think they just want to force it down now that Monkey King is on cooldown. Raw also on cooldown. It's a prime opportunity to go. However, if things go wrong and they lose this Mars again, potentially even a TA, this is like a comeback avenue for VG.
Through the triangle, old 11. Have to find himself a target, but he doesn't even have the roar up. So he's just gonna get some D wards out. Emo. Does he buy the BKB black? Yes, he does. There you go. Wow.
Wow.
Unbelievable.
Minute 35 at 29,000 net worth. He finally buys the BKB, and Weaver also has his queued up. They're suddenly like, hey guys, BKB is a good item. Maybe we should buy it. They're like, oh yeah, it's good, let's do it.
Pretty next level though, like 10-second charges almost 40 minutes into the game is going to be really hard to deal with for VICI Gaming.
He has to be careful he pops it before getting Heaven's Elbow at low.
Be careful those side blades. If they start bouncing, it gets very scary for VICI, but they Moonlight Shadow up. Emo gets rid of the units, now they jump in. Look at the Simulate trying to burst out Fly. He's still surviving for now. Roar out of the Phoenix trying to refuse the egg popping. But they get the arenas down and down the egg right onto the high ground. Perfect positioning. And they get the monkey.
No buyback.
No buyback indeed. Now PYW also caught for Barana. He'll die. They've left DY to the end. Poor DY.
1300 crit. And another lack of BKB here. If Monkey King had BKB, potentially they could have fought this fight, you know, but he also didn't go for it. I don't know if suddenly BKB is just not an item you buy anymore, but what do I know? What do I know? 10k MMR for what?
Nothing. Dumped in.
Nothing, exactly.
Ate the remnant. They kept out Emo for a little bit, but anywhere near enough.
Time without Monkey King. Monkey King is the only damage at this point, and he's dead for 40. He has no buyback. We'll see if they choose the conservative route. Get power, get the Rex, then back, or pressure the tier 4s. Arrow on the Weaver.
But again, is he really the problem? They get the headshot on Ori. That's the one they want in the arena, and he's gone without buyback. That has to be
it. There we go.
Easy for Emo TA, it seems. That's one hero we're going to have to look out for throughout this tournament. Like, very, very strong performance here from IG, and one would argue Emo just put them on his back.
I want to see Emo's sneakers for this game. This joke is great. I don't know what you're talking about. Like, everybody loves it. Maybe you're just too old school for my jokes, you know? Like, I'm a little bit younger than you, 3 years, so maybe you don't understand my jokes just yet.
You know what? Like, I've had enough of you, so we're going to head over to the panel and see what they thought about this game number 3.
Some lovely brotherly love from our casters, Black and MLP. Thank you so much for that great cast. All right, gentlemen. How do you feel? How you feeling?
That's how it is, you know. You know that someone is close when they're able to have a banter such as that.
Of course,
or
yeah.
they don't like each other. Whatever floats your boat.
So Sumi, I remember on the first few days of this event, we were impressing upon you how important this one specific item is on carries typically. Do you remember the item that we said?
Black King Bar.
Forget it. Everything that we told you, forget about it. It's completely irrelevant because when you're Emo TA, you buy it purely out of like, They're not letting me right-click. They're all building halberds. Fine. I guess I'll build 6th item BKB if I really have to.
I love how you said that. Fine. It just fits TA so much. Like,
fine.
That frustration that no one is dying.
The secrets are still within.
Exactly. But really well performed by IG once again this draft, in which Fly is not the ultimate win condition works out.